Okay. All right. Well, welcome to first installment of Alex and Brian commenting for the first time ever with no experience and no lead time. So apologies in advance to anyone that has tuned into what's the Caterham Academy race and the GP race. Small disclaimer: anything we say is a personal opinion, and don't believe anything we say because we're going to make up a lot of stuff as we go. Is that fair to say, Alex?
I think that's very fair, Brian. I think there's going to be a lot of people here. The guys are tuning in, and we don't actually know the Academy guys so well this year. There's going to be a lot of people's friends and family tuning in to see them going around Snetterton for the first time on what is a pretty unusual layout for Academy drivers, certainly Caterham drivers.
Absolutely, and this is going to be a jam-packed race because there is a big battle for the top 5 positions as they lead into the 6th out of the 7th race, the last race being in Silverstone National in October. Coincidentally, this will be great training for those guys in Silverstone because Silverstone is a monster toll track, and I've never done the National myself. We did the GP last year when we had it, but the National track looks like even more of a toll than the GP. So this should be a really good learning circuit for the guys to figure all that out, because we've got a two-way battle between Max Richardson and Matt Fox in the top of the board. They're tied at the moment, assuming everybody's done marshalling. And then we've got a three-way battle for third between Rich Davies, George Hawkins and Carl Townend. But as I've been led to believe last night when I caught up with some of the Academy drivers, Kyle is always a bit late to the party, so hopefully he's not too late to this one because he's in a pretty good shout to contend for third. If not, maybe something major happens and they get up into the second spot, so it'll be interesting to see.
I've just seen on the app, I think they've been called to assembly already actually for the, I think they should be down there in assembly, which remember, by this time I think, what is this, the 5th race is the Academy?
Sixth race.
6th race, so I remember this, you should get this pretty good feeling by now. This should be fun experience now going to assembly. It's mostly the nerves have gone. You should be chatting away down there and having a good time with it, really, rather than those first few experiences where you're not quite sure what's going on and just want to make sure you're getting it right. We've got a full green flag lap here as well. It's not like at other circuits where you're having to go through. We have got comments on YouTube up and running as well, so if you guys want to send us a message, we'll have a look at that. We'll see you coming. We can see the last of the 2 CVs coming around on the track before the circuit's cleared, and you can see the checker flags out for them.
So you say that, right? I still to this day feel like vomiting in assembly. Even though we've done quali and we know where we're standing, I still sit there going, why have I paid money to feel like this?
My favourite is Harvey in 270, has about 3 cigarettes in in assembly, and walks around just chatting to people while having the odd cigarette. Really cheers me up to see Harvey down there doing that. I swear I've seen Harvey have a cigarette on an in-lap as well. So
that's like the old day of the footballers, right, where everybody was boozing up and smoking on the pitch and then getting stuck in.
Yeah, glasses of champagne in assembly. I'm pretty sure not allowed that now, but
that still falls into the same time when you'd meet tradesmen and you weren't identified as a tradesman unless you had lost an appendage. So if you weren't a good tradesman unless you'd lost a finger or something, which, you know, is just absolutely bonkers these days.
Man, it's different. Let's see how they get on. So I think, is that the, I think we just lost the live link to the circuit there.
Well, we haven't been provided with the qualifying positions, but I guess once they come up on the screen, we'll run you through them. We do know Max Richardson has got pole, so Max hasn't been off the podium at all this year. He's had 3 firsts and everything else has been second places, so he's done pretty well. He's got a big charge for the win. So I'd be curious to see who's beside him, because it's not going to be for long with the toll that goes on here. So it'll be really curious to see how the strategies have formed in the Academy guys. It's taken me a while to figure out the strategies. How about you?
Well, for this as well, I think the difference here is from what we usually race down on this circuit as well. It's a totally different experience with a few extra corners down there. That massive back straight though, coming off the chicane, a great exit out of the turn 2 chicane, turn 3 chicane under the bridge. I think that'll be a big change for some of these guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And once they get into Brundle after the bridge, it's certainly going to be a case of he who breaks latest, because there are some very late breakers that if you get the car dialed in, you can get them in there and get the inside track into Nelson, which sets you up for Coram. But if you time that wrong, you're going to lock up and you're just going to go into the runoff. So it'll be really, really curious to watch how these guys get on, because they're on road tires and we all know how crap they are. So, you know, it'll be super interesting to see how they manage that.
The tyres this year are different for these academy guys. They've got a limited set run, whereas in our year last year we had
Unlimited
multiple sets to use, and so they must be coming to the end of allocations at this point, and presumably everyone's waiting, holding out with a wet set for Silverstone.
That's right. Like loads of people have been hanging off for the wet set, and now they're having to start to dip into the wet tires, which means this year they haven't had one wet race, whereas last year when we did our academy, I think we only had one dry race really.
Yeah.
So
remember that week we spent in at Cadwell, and it literally rained consecutive days. It was, you couldn't see the live link.
Cadwell was absolutely drenched.
I'm just reading some of the comments here. People's coming on George Hawkins. Met George at Thruxton, where he had a fantastic result there and come first. The Thruxton is a great circuit for chucking out a bit of a different leader there as well. So I'm sure George is on for a thing today as well. I'll be interested to see where they qualify. We'll get the TSL.
We've got a hello from Germany, so we're getting a good spread. We're up to 100 people now, so I'm guessing 3/4 of them are on the track. 105 now. So hello to everybody that's just joined us. And no, you haven't dialed in wrong. There are some degenerates on the mic here, which is myself presenting out of Ireland, and Alex, who is presenting down out of Wording. So we are the stand-ins. So bear with us. We'll do our best. And if we go off topic and have a bit of fun, jump in on the comments. We'll have a bit of fun with you. So
I think as well, we're mainly here. We're going to sit and try and talk you through some of the 2 hours of the Caterham Grand Prix there. The Caterham Grand Prix is a different format. I think it's the first time they've done this as well. There's three classes in that, going out from road sport to 270 to 310. Different pit stops. There's people driving as a couple, and then there's some hero drivers doing the 2 hours of endurance on their own as well. There's a charity prize pot at the end of the race there. I'm sure there's going to be absolutely no idea what's going on throughout it. I think it looks incredibly difficult to work out exactly who's going to win it. But the idea is that they navigate all of the time differences between the cars with variable pit stops and calculations like that. So everybody should be finishing at roughly the same time. I've never been in a Caterham for 2 hours, certainly on a circuit. We barely do more than 30-minute sessions normally, but we're interested to see how the guys get on for that. What do you reckon, bro?
I've done a 40-minute stint has been the longest, and I had my coach call me in because it was my first day out in the Caterham when I got it, and I was just so excited and full of adrenaline. He had to wave me in because, you know, everything was starting to fade. I was fading, the tires were fading. Most importantly, I was about to run out of fuel. So, yeah, it'll be really interesting to see what the pit stop strategies are here. There's some specifics on how they can refuel the car. You can't be in the car when it's being refueled. We know that there's a burn rate of about half a litre a minute in these cars, so the detriment will be anyone that has a bagged tank has swapped out their original tank will have a smaller holding capacity. So the normal holding capacity is 30 litres in the tank, and with this bagged tank it drops to 25. So I think anyone that's in the 270s or 310s may have moved to a bagged tank. So it'll be interesting to see how they manage it, because in the pit stop allocation they gotta get fuel in as well, more than the other guys.
But both, I think both you and I are on a bag tank. I certainly do.
I'm on a bag tank, and I'm glad I'm on it because I've had a few shunts in the back and my tank hasn't ruptured.
Is that personally, or have you?
Oh wow! Actually, I'm just jumping to the commentary here. Is the most I've heard from this person is Dean Burden. So we will be chiming in with a few people in the race as we go on. Dean will be offering some commentary as we go. We are going to have Sam Parker joining us when she does her stint. She'll jump out in the pits, and we may have Django Jones joining us once we get into the GP. So again, chuck in the comments. Let's have a bit of crack, and we'll make some fun of this.
We're trying to see if we can get subtitles for James Hall to be put on as well, but I'm not sure if you better understand him, especially.
No. But I will try my best to try and talk slowly and smoothly so that you can all understand me. And if I get too excited, I'm going to run out of things to say. And we've got 3 hours to cover here, so we'll do the best.
I can see Paul Goldstein has just jumped in the comments. For those who don't know Paul Goldstein, he races in all 23 Caterham series around Europe.
Yep.
He's currently, I think he's got a third car on the way at the moment. I've seen some of his Instagram shots.
Well, I actually, insider info, he's going to be racing 420 at Oulton. Oh, here we are. We're on the formation lap. I still don't have a starting grid, so we'll wait till they do the formation lap, and we'll call them through. I can definitely see Max Richardson on pole on the inside.
The qualifying Max Richardson, Richard Davis, Kyle Townsend, Matt Foss.
There we go. We got them all. All right. So we got Max in pole with Richard Davies beside him. Richard is currently sitting up in the top spot. He's third in the championship. We've got Kyle Townend who's sitting fifth. Matt Fox is sitting second. So really big battle between those four. We've got Ben Oliver in row 3 beside George Hawkins. Row 4 we've got Sam Emerson beside Oliver Smith. We've got Nick Tomadakis, who's been on pole, or he's podium a few times already, beside Sebastian Tholot. We've got some others in this as well. We've got the Oliver brothers. Ben's brother Joe is further down the track. Ben's birthday is tomorrow. He turns 54. He's 2 years younger than Joe. Joe's a bit out of shape because Ben got so many mentions in Anglesey. So let's hope those two boys put in a good showing. We also have the Bond boys in here. I believe they are second cousins or something. There's something weird about boarding school between the two of them, so I'm not really sure what the full relationships are, but there's certainly plenty of banter in the group. I'm sure there's more than 5 rows in this.
Hang on a second, I think it's on TSL, you can see as well now, Brian, it's popped up. I'm taking a bit of time to line up there. There you go.
Alright, okay, so we've got Shane Forster in row 6 on 15, John Bond beside him, that's the other brother of Judah Bond. Oliver Walsh in car number 55 in row 7, beside Joe Oliver, the older of the two Oliver brothers. And then row 8 we've got Stephen Bisher and Richard Northridge. Row 9 we've got Rob Hicks and James French. James is out of position there normally, isn't he? He's usually up higher. With Andrew Johnson and James Bond there. John Bond.
Christian's position there, I think he's got to a bit better than that today. Let's see. Okay. Just from the green flag now.
There we are. So this is where it all meant. Now, interesting fact, when I got pole in Snetterton 300, and when I was sitting on pole, I struggled to see the start lights. I had to start with my head hunched down so that I could see when the start lights dropped. So hopefully Max positions himself a bit better than I did. Well, he's smaller, right? So that's his advantage.
That feels like a long time ago. It's the 300, the first race of the season for us this year.
It's a lifetime ago. And you'll see all the things here now where they'll start weaving, they'll be hammering on the brakes to try and get some heat into it. They'll be weaving to try and get some heat into the tyres. Not that it really ever makes a difference, but it looks good. And then the key is to try and back up the pack so that when you get into pole position, you're not going to be waiting for what seems like an eternity for the green flag to come up at the back with the marshals and then the starting sequence to go.
It's a big old grid, hey?
It really is.
It's a big old grid with just the one grid this year. You see the guys there already coming through the under the tunnel there.
We've got 32 racers in this, is that right? So it's a shorter track than we raced at the start of the year. This is a 2-mile track. They've got 8 corners, 5 right-handers, 3 left-handers, so it's going to be busy. And I mean, the cars look so small there, but it certainly doesn't feel that small when you're coming around into Coram. because
don't really have an expected lap time for them. I mean, obviously we're qualifying their pole at 127, just over 127. But I think it's quite a bit faster than when they last raced here, which was some 13 years ago.
I reckon they're going to be a lot faster than that. But I think when you're in the race and you're not in the quali, you're naturally going to be in bigger packs running faster. So I wouldn't be surprised if the fastest lap from the qualifying session gets smashed in this. I expect to see some very, very, very tight racing. So the flags are out as they come up to formation on the grid.
It's going to take quite a while here to form, I think. A few nerves going on. There's always a bit like this, man. Do you get the shaking left leg on the clutch?
Oh, I hate that. You're slapping your leg to say stop shaking as you're trying to hold the bike point on the clutch. I'm nervous here watching them, thinking about when we race there.
I like it. This is also my favourite bit of racing, though, man. This is the bit where it's all down to you. It's the most alone you can be. It's
absolutely
starting bit on a race car.
Absolutely, and the minute those lights drop, everything disappears out of your mind. You're just in the race, and you're in the moment, and you're just dealing with what's in front of you. I can't see any lights. I think we're slightly out of position on the lighting board. Now we're waiting for the 5-second board. We can't see it, so I'm going to guess once they start moving, we're gone live. The key is the start here. You got to get a good start. Max has a great start, and Kyle on the outside.
There's a bit of a break there. Is that someone at the back stopped?
Yeah, there seems to be one car stopped. Great start by everybody. Max is taking position, and he's first into the corner, and he's leading as they come into the hairpin. He has a really good break there now. I can't fully see who's behind him, but I think it's Kyle Townend. And Richard Davies is just taking him on the inside. Now this is where it really gets curly is down on the hairpin, and everybody has come out unskated there, which is great to see.
Oh,
big crash.
The second part, that's a lot of dust, I think.
Yeah, that's a big one into the tyre wall there in turn 3, so I suspect we will see a red flag on that. Because that car doesn't look like it's moving. Someone's gotten caught up in the Frantics and they've left their indicators on, which is easy happening.
Standard.
God knows I've done it enough times.
I can't quite see on here, but I'm just watching a replay on that on another screen, and I think that's definitely going to be a red flag.
Yeah, well, definitely. That was a big crash, so hopefully they're okay and the car is okay. There's our
Georgie there going through.
We've got our moobob sponsor of this race. He's sitting in, I don't know what position he's in, but we'll pick him up.
I'm not seeing any flags, so hopefully the car's got back going and back onto the circuit there.
Absolutely. Now everybody's come out of the final corner pretty clean. And as we go down across the line, we've got Max Richardson still leading. He's got a big 1.2 second gap over Richard Davies, followed by Matt Fox, James Townend. So there's been a pretty good mix-up there, and Max has had a really good getaway. I suspect we won't see him maintain that for long if the guys work together and stay in the tow. They can really close that gap in on top of him. It's great action down here at turn 2. You see all the nerves in the race here, they'll start to settle down.
Yeah, it's a bit more of a rhythm for me. That's the car.
That car has cleared, so I don't know if they pulled it off the track or it's gotten around the barrier, but that car has cleared. I don't see any car up on the missing. We've got car number 33 sitting, which is Matt Smith. So we've 2 cars not shown, so I don't know, is a transponder missing or are they both out? We've got Longley and Smith out of this at the moment, so we'll wait and see if they rejoin. Everybody's making it very cleanly through turn 5, and I don't see anyone hitting track limits. There's obviously track limits on the exit of Murray's as well, so Murray's and Nelson are the 2 areas to watch out for track limits because they are monitored. And the corner we're seeing now here, Murray's, it's very tempting to get out, and there's a strip there where they can catch you. A lot of them are hitting it now, but it's the key to getting a good bit of momentum to get up that home straight and to get a pass if you can. Now we've Richardson getting through again. The gap has closed. It's gone from 1.2
They've halved the gap in that lap. They've halved the gap.
Absolutely.
Trying to work together in order to do that.
There's a big gap then from second to third. It doesn't look that big on the screen, but it's funny when you're watching it on the TSL. It seems much bigger.
Everybody's actually. This is pretty tight racing at the moment. Everybody's pulled back together and they're bunched through. Really think top 5 here, all within a decent shout. They've got quite a long time to go yet. Not even done 5 minutes yet.
I see George Hawkins has just set in the fastest lap and he's made his way up a spot. He's made a jump on Follett, so he's making a charge. He wants to get in the action with Kyle, Townend, and Fox and Davies. So again, if they work together, they'll get up there and they'll get into it pretty quick. But I suspect
those two need to stop, not fight this through, and let each other go as fast as possible. Really, it's the only way they've got of gapping into the top 3.
I would be amazed if we see Max hold the lead from the get-go, given the power of the toe here, and he's in clean air as well, so he's obviously not going to be setting the fastest times.
This looks tighter. They've 1-2 straight out the back, and it looks like they've slightly dropped Matt Fox there. But I think as soon as they start squabbling into turn 2, this will come back clean.
We've had a good bit of movement on the back of the panel as well. We've had Spencer who's dropped off. He's dropped back 4 positions, and he's had Georgie Tuffin and a few others, James French, jump up past him. So it's going to be a lot of battles the whole way through. As soon as these gaps break, though, you'll see these groups forming up now. It's very hard to jump from one group to the next. So
straight to the inside there. Bit of a lock up from Matt Fox there, coming back in. Change of lead there, bro.
Brilliant. So that's Richard Davies gone through there ahead of Max.
Max looks like he's got a bit of a run here to the bridge.
So we should see Matt Fox. We'll see. This is where the defending comes in. You can see Max Richardson has taken the right line for defence. He's punched the lads out, mostly Matt Fox, to the outside line. So he's got the inside corner. He can control him on his braking point, and he's done that really well there. So they're going to come into Hawkins here now, and then around to Coram. Coram is that was Nelson. Once they get through Bomb Hole and they come into Coram, that's the real ballsy right-hander where you're really keeping your foot flat out as you're holding what seems an eternity in the right-hander. So
and then turn 8 here is the everybody's nightmare corner. You can make or win a second in this by just getting it right.
Absolutely.
That looks like a good exit there.
Fox got him stepped out a bit there. You see, if you lose a tiny bit of momentum there, it's very hard to hold on. And if you apex too early, you've lost all your momentum. So
George Hawkins, though, looks like he's made some of the distance up here to join the top 3. The top 4 are in a sort of space of their own at the moment, and George is just bring it to them.
George is after having something happen to George. He's after dropping down 5 positions. So George has dropped down 5 positions, and he's dropped from 4th to 9th.
That's Kyle Talent. The cars are So Kyle is
in it. So I missed what happened to George. I guess he had a bit of a moment somewhere.
Someone's
gone off.
Is that true?
I didn't see if that was a collection, but
car 56, that was there.
Well, he's parked in a dangerous spot.
He's back going.
No, he's back up. That's good.
Okay, he's back up and running.
So we've got a big gap in the front pack, which is made up of Davies, Richardson, Fox, and Townend, and then there's a big 3-second gap between them and the next bunch of Thullett. So I suspect we will see a lot of the action in these mini packs that have started. There's fantastic.
Still top 4 broken away quite nicely.
They have. And we've got a man on his own, which is Follett, and that's the problem. You get caught up in these. You're in between packs. The pack behind you is trying to catch you, and you're trying to catch the pack in front of you, and you're holding on to that toe for dear life.
There's still quite a long way to go in this, though. I mean, the pace can rate from 12 minutes is a long time, and definitely we've seen a couple of spills and spins already, so there's definitely anything that could be happening.
Absolutely, and we're about to find ourselves near the halfway point here. They're 5 laps in. We've got 12 minutes left, so again, this is anyone's game. The guys in the mid pack, this is their battle to try and get up into the front pack. And we're seeing big spreads here now from the front to the back. We've got 2 cars out. Longley and Smith, they definitely seem to have retired. So the remaining 29 cars that are out are very spread out. I suspect we'll find the front pack catching up with the back markers within the next 5 or 6 hours.
The top three are starting to squabble a little bit. When you are getting into the stage now where the tyres are coming off, and you can see them drifting slightly through there.
They are, and the more they squabble, the more they will bring Collett and the backpack of Tomadakis and Oliver B and Emerson into the mix. So this is the dangerous thing of squabbling. You invite more into that party than you had intended.
I think though you're going to have to start making progress now, especially if you're in sort of 5th and 6th here. They've really got to get together. I mean,
absolutely.
Man in number 5 there is a bit broken free of everything.
If you look at the guys there leading, which is Richardson and Davies, if they start working together, they will pull away from Fox and Townend because it's very easy to get ahead of each other. But I suspect these guys will be in a 4-way battle right to the finish line, and I hope so, because that's what makes this race so exciting, is that last lap and people trying to position themselves to not be the first one crossing the line on the last lap. You know, they want to be in 3rd or 4th position so that they can get the toe on the back straight and 20 straight and set themselves up for the win.
Top 4, less than a second between them, all to play here, and then another 3 seconds back, 3-4 seconds back, you've got a chap in 5th.
I saw a lot of dust being kicked up, but the camera just moved off shot, so I don't see. Hopefully, no one's off the track and they're back in.
Oh, God, yeah, in the back of it. I think that was like turn 1.
I don't know who that is. Maybe we might get a replay on that, or we might see on the TSL who that is. But there's great battling going on here between Townend and Fox. Richardson is after making another getaway here, so Davies is now going to have to battle with Fox and Townend, and if too much of that goes on, Max may get the break that he wants. They're going too oppressed into quorum here. I've done that before. It's not fun. And the 2 yellow cars, they look great together going down the home straight.
It's really, I haven't noticed how good it is, the bright colours actually to see them. It definitely made me think about how easy to spot certain cars are in certain combinations. The brighter colours are definitely where it's at with the caterers.
Max is on a pretty lonely charge there, and we've crossed the halfway point. I suspect we'll get a lot of laps in this, won't we? Because on the 300 circuit, you're at about 10 laps. But I guess they're going to get up to 13, 14 laps at this one.
Yeah, I think we've got basically a 1 second break now from the leading position, which is
that's a big gap.
That's a lot in this now. That's relatively comfortable.
Absolutely. So it's really going to be down to how Max defends from here on in. I see Richard Davies has made a good comeback there. He's after getting back in, and that just shows you how quick you can get back into this race. You know, not all is not lost. A second can disappear down that back straight very quickly, which is very disheartening when you're not used to tow racing and you're working really hard to be very technical in the corners, and then it just disappears as soon as you get down on the home straight.
Yeah, it's a good leveler though, isn't it? It ensures tight racing. The cars are all very well bunched to match, and it means that everybody down the grid gets a good race.
Absolutely. I see Max taking that last corner very aggressively. When you get up on that sausage curve, it's very dangerous because they're so high you can unsettle the back of the car so easily. So it's going to be interesting.
The pack seems to be coming at them slightly there. Let's have a look at the times as they come across. There's still a 3 second gap between the sort of front of the pack and the 5th position, which would be quite a lot to break into this.
We've got such a tight gap there coming across the finish line there.
There you go. So the lead just changed there.
Well, you can see the tyres are starting to give up there now. There's a lot more overshare as they come into these corners. The cars are really starting to struggle, but they're doing a great job.
My understanding is these are still the same van tyres that we raced on last year. So
yes,
really
yeah.
Road tyres. The cars are built to be fully road legal.
Well, I'm guessing there's a great deal done with Toyo where they said we've got X amount of CF2 stock. We'll sponsor if you use up all this stock. So you know, I can see the economics behind it all. They are terrible tyres, but look, it makes for
fine on your van. There you go. Look at that. There's a move to the inside through bomb hole there. That's a difficult place to get through there. I think there's a bit of ambition.
He's sticking his nose in, saying hello, I'm here. And this is the really hard bit because you want to put your nose in to go, look, I'm here, but actually you lose time by doing that.
And also as well, really into turn 8, while the overtake's on, you're going to get it taken straight back again at the end of the long straight. And they've definitely all bunched up now. Sort of the squabbling's brought 5th and 6th and even 7th into play there by the looks of it.
They're all back in. That's what happens with the squabbling. They all bring back in. And the spread across the top 5 is only really 1.3 seconds, which isn't that much.
I mean, this is going to be a good last 5 minutes. I think this is opened up quite nicely.
And every point is crucial at this stage in the championship because it's so tight. It's really down to every point. There's a great dive by Max. He held it. I don't see any smoke from lockups.
There's a little nudge. Someone's been taking a tap in the rear there.
That's a love tap, and the problem is that creates a bit of a gap. So Matt Fox has gotten a love tap off Richard Davies. And it was unfortunate because they made such a good move through it. Like Max had a great dive, but thankfully there's been no wheel lockup. I think it was just he lifted to give him a bit of space to let him through. But now the position has changed again. So
that's a big bunch coming through there.
Really good bunch. And Kyle Tennant is doing his best to stay in. He's just gone off a little bit wide. Can he get back in? Yes, he can. I like his style. That's more of our style, isn't it?
I'm amazed that we haven't seen any sort of off-road shenanigans here.
Now Nick Tomadakis has made a great jump coming up from his original position. We have fastest laps currently sitting with Oliver B. He had a massive lap time of 1:26 on lap 8. 1:26.93, so that was a really, really hot lap. Way faster than qualifying. And a lap record.
Wow, that is going somewhere.
Oh, there's a big train now on the home straight.
They're actually on the back of the other end of the straight now. You just got the final car coming through T4. I don't think they're going to catch it up in the 5 minutes that's going.
No, I don't think so. And I reckon there's probably another 4 laps left. But all is to play for on that home on that back straight.
You can see the top 3 are separated by half a second.
This is what's great about Caterham racing. Now we see Max Richardson taking the inside line, doesn't get the dive in.
Through.
Matt Fox holds it.
Oof.
And this is very clean racing. You know, there's been very minimal contact. I have to say, you know, our academy year there was far more contact going on. So I'm not sure. I think skill had just evaded us at that stage. But there's very clean racing going on, and it's very tight with the tyres fading. You know, they're holding it all together very well.
This guy's coming into this final corner here. It's easy to take a bit too much or a bit too little out of this and run wide. But again, it's very sensible driving, gents.
And you know what people might know is as they're coming into the last corner at Murray's, as they come around Corn, the car is so unbalanced and it's leaning onto the front left. As you're trying to brake and straighten up, the whole car is completely out of position. So to be able to nail it and still get that corner, it takes a lot of effort. And you can notice it on the cars as they're coming around. You'll see the whole right-hand side nearly lifting up.
Okay, looking for a move from Matt Fox. He's closed the door there. Coming into the last 3 minutes.
And he's on the inside line. He's after letting off to give Max Richardson a bit of space there. But he's going to get him on the toe, you know. So this is where we're going to see the experience of racers coming up. And Max.
I think they're going to get the lapped car here on the last lap. You just see him going through the shot there.
I see him.
It's much tighter.
If they catch him, that's going to be great for whoever's in the lead because they're going to position that car in between them and the rest. Max is after having a great jump down on the inside there, and again, king of the late breaks. He's after nailing it.
Whoa!
He's got a car off. That's Nick Tomadakis off. He's after coming back in and hasn't collected anything, so that's great. That was a hard break. Nick has been driving very hard there. It's really good. Now here's a fast right-hander coming into Murray's, and you watch these cars unsettle. There's a big lock-up. That's a really hard place to pass.
What a way to go! Wow. I think he's going to be punished for that ambition down there. Wow. The start-finish straight.
Absolutely, he's got
some guys taking into the grass there.
He's going to get squeezed out. Oh, look at this! 4 cars wide coming into turn 1. Wow. I hope
there's a lot to play for here for these guys. Very tight, top of the leaderboard for the moment, the running order.
That was sun drive. Now Max is after getting away because of that. That's the downside. We've 1 minute 50, so we're going to get two more laps in this, but it's all to play for. Look at this. This is great racing. Sideways coming through it, managing to hold it, getting back in the home straight.
A bit of nudge racing there. That's very tight.
Tollett has made a great comeback up from his starting position up to where he is now. So there's phenomenal racing to bring these guys back into the pack. So really exciting stuff. Max is going to be feeling the pressure because he sees this train behind him just looking to attack.
And he's managed to get a nice little break there in the squabble that they'll be feeling slightly more comfortable in the lap to go here.
Now, if they hold this position, Max Richardson is going to get a bit of breathing space from his championship competitor, which is Matt Fox, because there's currently a car in between them. So that'll separate them by 2 or 3 points if they all hold their positions. So I would safely say we're on to the last lap.
Car 62's got a track limit violation for doing that lap.
Oh, wow. That's Georgie Tuffin, our West Ham supporter. I don't see... there's the last lap board. It's up.
Okay.
It's got to be up.
See the black and white there for Georgie as well.
Yeah, well, actually, that board they're holding up is giving Georgie's number, so I'm going to assume that they're on their last lap because there's not going to be enough time to run this out. So it's all to play for here, and that back marker is getting very, very close to Max Richardson. So
he's going to do a favour here. And there's someone running wide onto the hairpin. I don't think you're going to get the XC1 who's going to get caught here on a 99.
No, and Richard Davies is after positioning himself nicely in second. So if Max can hold his position here and hold his nerve, which I have no doubt he can, he's gonna take this home. And he's now in the draft of the
lap car 20, number 23.
So the battle is for 4th and 5th now. We've got Kyle Towand in 3rd position. So here's a great last one. We're actually Max looks like he's been held up by the back marker. He's just passed him. So here's Max in the final straight as he goes to take his 4th win of the year. He's just been on a massive roll. He's on the inside line.
He's done very well there to get backwards and forwards and a couple of it. Here comes the check.
The back marker is after saving the battle for 3rd position. What a great race! Applause to them all.
Well done, gents. It's a good race. There's a couple of cars that we didn't see. There, Christian Bond, and one after 60 car 67.
Well, that was Ross. Panthlon. And they're all carrying the last checker. That was a tough race. Big mix-up for some of the pack, but ultimately it was led for the most part by Max Richardson and Richard Davies. There was some great racing between those two. And Kyle Townend has done really well to get up where he was from where he was in 5th place on the grid. So great racing. The big losers on that, of course, were Hawkins dropped back.
Yeah, I think he's finished 17th. I missed that happen there. Let's go right. He looked like he was having a good start to the race, and then it sort of faded away.
Yeah. They've all had a great race, and shame about the 2 cars that didn't finish. Hopefully they will get their cars fixed and straightened up for the next race in October. But they'll all be coming into Park Ferme now, absolutely buzzing. Looking forward to getting that bottle of water. I don't know what the temperature's like over there, but I guess it's going to be pretty warm.
Yeah, I think it's August bank holiday, so it always rains at some point, which would make it. Would have made it a bit more challenging there. And getting a message about Caterham Dave.
You see, Caterham Dave is missing his celebrity status because Izzy Hammond isn't returning any of his calls, so he's just vying for any kind of attention. We'll get you, Dave. Don't you worry, we'll get you.
I saw him on Instagram in a race suit this weekend, and thought, didn't know Caterham Dave joining the team for the next year.
He is not just a one-trick pony.
No. He doesn't just solely fix your car at race weekends. He's also.
I'm on loyalty discount by now.
Yeah, I think it's the best value anyone's ever received of a product or service in the history of products and services. It's the
Absolutely,
£1,500 you've paid Caterham this year. You've
absolutely.
got it's below
And
minimum wage.
for anyone that doesn't know it, once you move out of academy and go into road sport, you pay for trackside support. And when you get out of that, you can go into team support. But the trackside support works out at £50 a day. It's actually £55 per day of all the testing and racing. And the value I have realized out of that, due to my driving style, has been beyond immense. I'm on first name basis with all of the Caterham gang there. I do my own work in there now because poor old Jack just be hanging around waiting for someone to tell him what to do. And, there's a massive team down there. So we'll give a big shout out to all the Caterham team. You've obviously got Simon and Bob. Simon is stepping down to chase on bigger and greater things in BARC Motorsport. Is it BARC he's going to?
I think so. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
and fair play to him. He's had 25 years of service in Caterham. Then you've got Lauren, who is really doing everything, and Simon just takes the credit for it. Callie has joined in on socials. She's doing a super job. Laura minds us all, and she flexes her muscles as a primary school teacher by ordering us all of around. And then in the pit crew, you've got Darren, Caterham, Dave, John, Jack, Alex, and then you got Jeff, aka Javan, in the parts truck, and who would be anywhere without the banter of Ian and Steve in scrutineering. So big shout out to all of them.
It's a big full Caterham team and family that have looked after us certainly looked after you for this year as well.
Absolutely, and it doesn't even mention the people in the factory now. I suspect they are most of the factory also. So big shout out to all of them. They've been superstars, absolutely superstars. So we make a point of treating them to a couple of drinks at the award ceremony at the end of the year. But have you heard that Caterham Dave doesn't drink?
I haven't heard that. No.
Oh wow, you're the only person that hasn't heard this, because he makes a point of telling everyone. Even if you've watched the video of him and Richard and Lizzie Hammond, he has told everybody several times on that how he doesn't drink, and he's a celebrity now.
I wasn't aware of that. I mean, I know he's got his own Instagram, and he's got, I think there's a few people to follow him on the service today. I definitely saw him doing some testing of the new Academy car.
Yeah.
Wasn't mentioned into it. I didn't realise the status of celebrity that had reached him so highly, actually.
Yeah, seemingly he's becoming quite hard to handle in the Caterham garage, because he's got demands now of having his own office and his own chair. And he wants his own.
It won't be long until Strictly comes calling for him, I think.
I don't know. It's either going to be Love Island or Strictly or Running the Jungles with Bear Grylls. But he's
Do you think
calling 100%.
He'll be eating some kind of donkey scrotum before the year's out? No doubt.
I've no doubt if he hasn't done it already to get to his celebrity status, who knows?
Right, back to some kind of racing while we wait for the guys.
Speaking of donkey scrotum, have you ever noticed that the track map looks like an appendage?
I haven't.
Are we still live or off, or? Oh, there we go, everybody. We're still live. We have our producer in our ear telling us how bad of a job we've done. Okay, and we're back live. We've just had a producer in our ear telling us how bad of a job we've done, so we will try to work better for you guys. So let's round up the results of the moobob Caterham Academy Championship. We have Max Richardson taking his 4th win with a definitive lead of 1.57 seconds over Richard Davies. In second, Kyle Towend is 1.75 behind him. We've got Matt Fox in 4th, and I've lost everybody else. Sebastian Tullett in 5th, Sam Emerson in 6th, Nick Tomadakis has dropped back to 7th after his unfortunate off. Oliver Smith in 8th, John Bond in 9th, Oliver Walsh in 10th, Shane Forrester in 11th, Andrew Johnson in 12th, Ben Oliver in 13th, and Rob Hicks in 14th. And Oliver B has hit the fastest lap of 1:26, which is going to be immortalised forever as the fastest lap for Caterham Academy and Snetterton 200, because they'll probably move to a different tyre next year, or they won't, or they'll never come to Snetterton 200 for a few years again.
It'll be definitely around for a long time. I think he'll have a name on that board for quite some time.
Absolutely. Okay. Just at this moment here, we're going to take a word from our trackside man, Dean Burden, so we're going to give the mic over to him for a minute.
Man, a few words, Dean Burden.
Great input, Dean. Thanks for that. Really appreciate it. Great technical insight.
So, Caterham Grand Prix, here's the grid. And we're out.
Well, this is going to be a big grid, so this is your turn, Alex. I took the Academy, you got this one.
Hang on a second, let's see. Oh, it hasn't loaded on my screen here. I've got the Caterham Grand Prix book on another screen from me. So first up, we've got the 310 guys coming up. We Harry Senior and Charlie Lower. Freddie Chiddix in second, is the first of the hero drivers. James Emerson coming in third. Steve Evans fourth. Peter Mott coming fifth. And then the last, I think, of the 310s is Robert Lowe. And the first of 270 is Harrison Cavers, who's just come back after dealing with, racing up in Knockhill in the Porsches. And then here we've got a bit of a wild card entry of Max Coates and the new Road Sport entry here, coming up on in 8th position. So Max Coates is coming with some serious pedigree, we understand, and they're really in this to win this. Next up, 270, Richard Mitchell. And then you've got the first of the sort of drivers that we know a lot about, which is Bruno van Dijk and Steve Lorryman. Paul Oglesby lines up behind him. Dr. Andy Palmer coming in the 63 car. Dean Pollen in the 270, and then you've got our new dear leader Alex Reed and the wonderful presenter Sam Parker following behind him. Scott Helm currently leading Road Sport Championship. And we have a lineup here which looks like the start of a green flag lap to me, Brian.
It looks like it is, because this is a rolling start. So what they're going to do is the formation lap, and then the safety car is going to come in, and it is a rolling start for everybody. So for anyone that hasn't done a sevens race, do grads do a rolling start?
Sevens do. I don't know about grads. I think grads is
sevens do. So I did my first rolling start with sevens in. I did a bonus race in Estoril last year, and it was a really nice way to start the race, because you got to position yourself in the right distance behind the car so that you do your build up and try and get the jump on them, and time it right that the green lights go off. But if you get that wrong, you're going to get swamped and eaten alive. So it's a really interesting way to start the race.
So the first thing of this is a Grand Prix is we've never seen this, we've never been past this, and there's some rules to this that are not normally a standard race. It's a 2-hour race, cars must make a minimum of 3 pit stops. Pit stops are timed, and this creates a handicap system between the 3 series of cars. The refuelling, drivers not allowed to be in there, maximum drums of 25 litres to do that. There's no radios or comms apart from traditional pit boards, and they're all on the Toyo R888 tyres. Some people have gone here actually for the Avons, which they brought back for this, which is allegedly a slightly better tyre. We've got no idea what it's going to be like to race on these tyres for 2 odd hours. As I think we said at the start of this is the maximum we've been in the car. Certainly me and Brian is about 40 minutes. So it's definitely going to be different. It's going to be hot. It's going to be close, as always. Caterham racing is always going to be close. I think there's going to be a lot of penalties here, and we're going to see some decent traffic going out there. And of course, there is £1,000 for the charity.
I think the penalties, Alex, is going to be the real crux of how this race is won, because I suspect if there's a lot of judges of fact in the pits and they're really monitoring the penalties, then that's where you're going to win and lose this. So a quick run through the penalties: a false start, there's a drive-through penalty, overtaking a competitor under yellow, drive-through. Overtaking under safety car, drive through. Now, Mark Stancer isn't in this, so I don't suspect anyone is going to overtake under safety car. Causing avoidable.
Where is Mark? Has anyone got a readout of Mark? Everyone's always safer when we know where Mark Stancer is, I think.
I'm pretty sure Mark is off the booze at the moment because he's been very quiet. So
Jesus. The hospital have got a hold of him. Okay.
Well, I'm hoping somebody's gonna give us a shout out over WhatsApp or on the YouTube comments to let us know the whereabouts of Mark Stancer. And if Mark wants to chime in and give us some sound bites, we will gladly take them. Once Alex has filtered them over a 2-hour delay, because Mark has got much choicier words than I have. So
we're looking. Here you go. They're going to be coming into the start here. We're expecting something like a maximum laps of about 79 laps for a 310 and down to a road sport of something like early 70 laps as guys warm up the tyres. I don't know why anybody on their right mind is warming up tyres for a 2-hour endurance race.
They're going to be well worn. But the challenge here is the people that aren't used to a rolling start think that they're going to fall back into formation, and they're allowing a big gap in between them and the next. There's Jimmy Way after passing us, and no one's beside him. So they're going to get caught off guard when the safety car goes in and the lights go out.
The knack here is watch the board, not the car in front of you, as I've definitely found out. And here we go. Lights are on.
Yeah.
Lights are on. They'll be coming in. And
they're all holding.
And
we are go.
There we go. First corner, can't win it, 2 hours, just got to get everything going over across the line and see where you end up, I think. So some of the guys here, they've got some creative team names, which we'll try and keep you informed of all the way through here. The Batman and Robin team here have saying that the TSL link is saying it's gone right through, but
someone has just started from the pits. I'm not sure who has started from the pits, but I just saw a car coming out at the last minute in
it's showing on TSL car 77, which is Batman and Robin and Road Sport start there is in the lead. I think that would be highly unusual with the 310 grid that's and the pedigree of the 310 grid that's out there.
Well, these are all 310s out, and how we know that Batman and Robin aren't at the front of the grid is there's no windscreen. So that's the big telltale between Road Sport and everybody else, is the Road Sport still have their windscreens, whereas everybody else has theirs.
I'm just reading some comments, bit of dust kicking out of the corner there. I'm just reading some of the comments on YouTube. How does this work in endurance for Caterham? We have a very limited idea as well. I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens. This is the first of a sort of experiment. I think the idea is to have as much fun as it possibly can. We see some big gap break in there. Is that looks like this car of Bruno van Dijk and Steve Lyman?
That is Team SPL, or Sam Parker's in straight away. So SPL has a new team name, which will break out for this, which is the Caterham unofficial national track stars. So I think he's going to be leading his team for that. And now Sam has jumped in straight away, but I don't know if that's part of the strategy now, where she swaps out and Alex Reid jumps in. I guess we will find out pretty quick.
It's worth mentioning that Alex Reid is the new Caterham head of motorsport starting after this weekend, and he's effectively our dear leader going forwards. And we've been asked to say a few choice words, which we will ignore that request, I think.
Yeah. So I just see some of the comments over here on YouTube. So Guilty Heroes asked how will they refuel. So they're not allowed anything more than a 25-litre fuel churn, and it has to be a sealed unit and with an air release. And the drivers have to be out of the car when they're getting refueled. Now, for the burn rate on these cars, if they have the larger regular tank, they only need to refuel once because it'll carry 30 litres, so that's 2 fills. And the minimum stop time is 4 minutes. So the road sports have to have a minimum stop time of 12 minutes, which is 3 4-minute pit stops, and then it's 15 and a half minutes for the. It's 15 and a half minutes for the road sport.
I'll tell you what, just watching there, Harris was doing well to stay with that 310. That'll give him a huge advantage through
If he can stay on
the
the
rest
toe
of
of the
here.
310, as you've learned in your race at Silverstone, you will get a massive gap away from everyone else.
You just keep forming that. Just keep forming that gap. It'll take a second out of this down the bendy straight for him.
SPL Motorsport is the lead pack in road sport category, followed behind by
Sofa Kings,
WAC, which is
Paul and Harris.
It is Paul and Will Harris. Paul Oglesby and Will Harris, two very quick boys with green cars, coincidentally. So
the Caterham parts shop will be delighted. Paul Oglesby's got a stint.
yeah. Well, you see, they're going to be down on parts because you and I are sitting at this race, so we need someone else to make up the parts bill. You see a lot of guys running wide. Bruno is running wide there. He's had an off there, and he is tucked right behind Craig Evans' car. And Craig is racing with the other Harris brother, Charlie Harris. So couldn't be two nicer guys than those two. Some really good racing with them.
Dr. Andy Palmer there in 10th, doing quite well. He's a hero driver, I understand. He's obviously got a tremendous history of motorsport and Team Valkyrie there.
And we have 12 solo hero drivers out of the team of the field of 2016. So that leaves 14 with pit stops and driver swaps. So it'll be really interesting to see what's going to happen with all of these. And the biggest pain in these things is you have molded seats for the most part, and then you have your seat belts to contend with. So it'll be interesting to see how they set up their pits with the crews and how many people are helping to strap in seatbelts and all of that. And we'll try and give a shout out to as many of the pit crews that we know of. We don't have information on everyone. I'll give a quick shout out to Danger Zone Racing, which is a solo effort by Rich Haig, who's in our group. He's got his wife Chris. Chris has been a staunch figure in the pits from the very first time I met her in Kerbera. And their friend Miles and his wife Roxy and Rich's dad Andy is helping him out. So big shout out to all.
I don't want to spoil that, Brian, but I've got a warning marker on Danger Zone Racing here on the TFL. I'm not sure if the transponder's not working there.
We'll see pretty soon, but there's the shout out anyways. Who else is gone out? Snail it is Benoit.
I know Benoit missed half the qualifying. I didn't see any other bits. Not quite sure what's happened there. Perhaps someone will drop us a note.
Sure. Camera's focused on Harrison as he passed through the last section. So this will be a big change for Harrison. As you mentioned, he went and raced the Porsche Club Sport last weekend in Knockhill. So again, he's moved back into a car without ABS, traction control, or massive amounts of power like the Porsche has. So interesting to see how he handles the change back.
You see the groups develop quite nicely now. So the 310 group are packing up, lifting away from the group. Harrison's just staying on the tail, the leading pack of them. And then we've got some 270s, and then down to the big bundle here, which is the road sport. I reckon within 5-6 laps we're going to see that the 310 captures the back of the first road sport, which is car 71.
We've got everybody back on the race now, which is good. So the people we thought were out might have been in the pits doing their pit change. So I guess we're going to see a lot of that as we go, where people are falling off out of grid and coming back into it.
We've got 270 coming through here as well through a big road sport. This is going to be.
We've got some pretty good names here. I'm guessing Torque Dirty to me is Charlie Lower, who's running his car through Team Perry Motorsports. Giles Perry, absolute gentleman. I've raced him with him in Australia. He's got a pretty good team there now. Gone is the next one. That is James Emerson and Edward Drake, run out of Williams Motorsports. Heavy in the team there, not a great bunch. For Evan's sake, I don't know who that. Oh, I do know. That's Mike Evans and Steve Evans. They were being run out of the team I'm with, which is LFP Motorsport. So good luck to them. Good racing. Boss Racing then in fourth in the 310 is Freddie Chiddix, one of the solo racers in 310. Everybody else is, apart from Peter Mott, is team racing.
I can see Bruno van Dijk there's caught up to Dr. Andy Palmer. You can see Bruno and he's got some sporting some white gloves on there. I think he's missing his part-time job as
he's making a charge at him.
Snooker.
And I suspect Dr. Andy is going to be giving Bruno a really nice tow. Because he's buried in between 227, 327s and 270 sandwich, because the next road sport behind them is 4 cars back, which has
Scott Helms.
Scott Helms is tight on his tail, so we're going to be a really good race between those guys. There is Will Harris in Will Harris's car, so Paul is not yet. We've got Craig Evans and Scott Helms behind them in it's a good old road sport race there, isn't it?
An interesting fact here is that there's actually there's quite a lot of the Harris team. Bruno, of course, is and Dr. Andy Palmer wide on the hairpin.
How did he do that? There's no respect.
Isn't a pretty classic Bruno move that he didn't take his wing off there is pretty surprising.
Well, I suppose he has been respectful in that he hasn't hit him, because he certainly hit you and me to the other side of the way, hasn't he?
It's definitely a first for Mr. Van Dijk and Gino to take there. You see them all coming down there. Harrison looks like he's on his own. Still see the car of Evans coming through the last lap on the relay as well. So
Dr. Palmer has made a jump on the Bentley straight with his extra power, and he has bunched Harris. I think
that's Will versus Bruno there, which would be an interesting race. Will's got tremendous experience in the car. He's having a good season. And Bruno's been very light in that racing this year, and what racing he has done has normally involved some kind of crash.
Absolutely, and a special shout out to Bruno's mum, Caroline. She's obviously the little bit of racing he has done has been thanks to her generous donations, and the long-suffering son Albert is in the pit for Bruno. Albert's mad to go racing, but Bruno's clearly the favourite child at the moment because all the funding has gone towards him. So we might have started a GoFundMe page for poor Albert.
They living locally to Snetterton, like 10 minutes down the road. Caroline and Vince, they're just sponsors of all of the racing going on here. I should imagine they'll have a couple of catering cars in the future as the whole family seeks to go out. So certainly Caroline will end up sponsoring a number of them.
It's amazing to see the gaps forming up now as we look at the TSL. You know, the 310 guys are, for the most part, pretty much bunched up very tightly, and then the 10-second gap falls into Harrison, and then a 10-second gap from Harrison to the next it's a 310 behind him. So there's an amazing gap starting to form up, and I guess this is really what's going to happen for the rest of the race, isn't it?
Well, I think until we get a first pit stop, and then it's all going to jumble again. Really, I think this is the standard thing. As Bruno looks to the inside of Coram there, again a move that's never really going to be on.
No, and it's very hard racing already from
through the bomb hole though. I'm a bit late on that move. The TPM car, the 310 is making up some positions there. Who's that with the luminous roll cage?
That is Scott Allen, is it?
No, it's a TPM car.
Oh, that's Charlie Lower.
Okay, it's Charlie Lowe's.
So that's so the I'm going to say that is for torque's sake. No, it's going. Well, they must be going down because that has been the lead car across. So that is the team of Charlie Lower and Dom Story. It's a very tight turn into turn 3 as they come out of the hairpin and jump into the next turn.
Charlie Lower is the 2001 Caterham Academy champion. I think when you get most of the way through to 310, you find that. It's really the champions of all the series that arrive into keep upgrading, so it's a very competitive season this year. Certainly the 310 at the start of the year, occasionally there was nothing between them, but it looked like a very difficult grid to get into.
Absolutely. There's some great action in between some of these guys. You would love to have more views of different corners, because the amount of jostling and jibing and position changes is just brilliant. Oh, sorry, we just had a correction. It's Charlie Lower and Harry Senior is in the TPM car, so we have the so apologies to everyone.
I just pulling up Charlie's Instagram there, and he's got a big bit on the racing this weekend. Nice graphics and a very distinctive car, actually.
That's absolutely, it sounds out very well.
This is the next big gamble of road sport, which I think, I mean, I know that some of these guys are planning on running quite long. They've only been going, what, 15, not even 15 minutes yet. This is, which is normally 3/4 of the way through the race.
Absolutely, and we're 10 laps in, so it's wheel to wheel. You know, the little packs that have already formed. It's wheel to wheel racing, and you know, there's a lot of fighting. And really, that's what they're here for. They're here for racing, and this is racing. So every position counts, every win counts. So it's great to see that they're not just sitting back and letting it tuck in.
Just trying to find new dear leader, Alex Reed and Sam Parker there. Where have they got into?
They are Team Caterham Experience, and they are down in car 25. They are sitting very close to the back of the pack. I can't see them fully on the TSL overview, but on the TSL they're still racing. They're 9 laps in. They have had one pit stop already, so we've had 3 cars with one pit stop already, and they're good jump ahead. They're second last from the pack.
So running in fifth, oh, there we go. Just as we're talking about them, Sam comes into the shot on the back of the head.
So I don't actually know. I've asked people to send in their helmet colours so I know who's who. But that is Sam's helmet. You're absolutely right. And Sam will be joining us later on in this broadcast once she does her stint, and she'll give us a bit of coverage from the pit. So we're looking forward to hearing that.
So running in 15th, we've got S&M Racing, which is Ali Morton and Ben Snape. There's Ali Morton, his day job is a general surgeon, and Ben Snape works in finance normally with another friend of ours. I think they moved to a new role this year, but interestingly for these guys, Ali Morton spent the whole year of last year not having a single spin, and Ben Snape was the only person who managed to turn a car upside down. So
and roll it 3 times.
Exactly. So I think they've gone for quite a blended approach there. But
are you telling me Alistair didn't have one spin last year?
He didn't have a single spin last year. In practice, either that or he's a very proficient liar, but it doesn't strike me as that.
That's
a very reasonable guy.
Amazing.
Yeah,
we have Ben's brother Chris is down in the pits helping out, and they're running their car through RS Motorsport, which is Rob and Ollie. Really nice guys, very helpful. I owe the guys a few drinks, but Rob isn't home, he doesn't drink, so I'm going to have to bring him for a meal somewhere. So another great.
We could take him out with Caterham Dave.
Yeah.
So now. Caterham Dave doesn't drink.
Will Scott and Craig are breathing down Bruno's neck. There's a lot of pressure there with Craig at the back of the pack, but Craig is sitting pretty. There's three great racers sitting down on Bruno's back there, so it'll be interesting to see what the pressure's like.
I think it's difficult when you're following a faster car and you're probably as quick or quicker through the corners, and you can make the distance up in the toe, and then it comes back onto the corners, they fight the back. It's certainly the way out of the corners is the bit that they're going to find it easiest to find the traction. I mean, it's about now that you're going to be noticing the tyres get warm and tyres start to come away from you. Normally you think, I've only got another 5 minutes of this left. This is what we watch Bruno there defending against Dr. Andy Palmer. But the big challenge, these guys have still got an hour and 40 minutes left to go on this, so I wonder if they'll come back to us at some point. Definitely notice at the end of the a 25-minute lap, a race like Sevens, that you get totally different degradation of the tyres.
Absolutely. And all it takes, is one tiny lapse in memory and concentration, and you drop all the positions you work so hard to get. So the mental determination they need to have for this period is going to be immense, and I'm pretty sure they will be utterly exhausted at the end of it. Not physically, but mentally.
How is, I don't know how Charlie Lowe is going past Harrison. Is he the first of the lap car? That would be, it's Harrison coming in, that would be a big difference, because they were lapping at something about the right speed, but we see the overtake there.
Yeah, I'm not sure, because Harrison was doing pretty well. I mean, he's sitting up pretty high. He's 5th overall, which, when you think about it, is pretty amazing. Because, sorry, to answer your question, he had a pit stop, I'm guessing, so he's making his way back. But the point I was going to make is Harrison's doing so well because he's keeping up with cars that have differential. There's an open diff in the 270, and they're obviously able to power out corners a lot better than the 270s. So for him to be able to hold his own up there, he's doing immense. So fair play.
And definitely wants to stay in the toe of the Charlie Lower car. They'll help him a lot all the way through there. As long as he can stay onto that car, the better he'll do. It'll literally be pulling him around.
Absolutely. So we've only had 3 cars pitting so far. And I guess the half-hour mark is between the 25-minute and the half-hour mark is when the fuel tanks will need to be refilled, depending on what their fueling strategy is. Because some people may have gone out with lighter fuel loads, but I doubt it. It's not going to make a huge difference.
No, I mean, especially with the sort of mandatory pit stop times, I'm sure there's. I've certainly heard that Steve Lorryman has got some elaborate strategy for pit stop management system involving pit boards,
spreadsheets, and of course his main pit master is Rachel. So big shout out to Rachel.
I've seen that they're using Bruno's ex-girlfriends as different pit boards names.
Wow, is there enough letters?
It's all crikey, look at that.
Oh, there's a bit
Charlie
of
goes into the back and someone missed a gear there, I think, and I think that's Will Harris nearly.
That was Will Harris that collected that, and I'm pretty sure that was
he's going to take a pit stop to get some new trousers there.
And that is definitely not even bump drafted because no one benefits from that.
It's horrible when that happens. Your brain literally can't work out why the guy in front of you is not accelerating. It just missed a gear by half a second.
Especially when your nose is literally sniffing the fumes out of their car. It is very, very unsettling. Big group going into turn 2 there with Sam Parker in the middle of it all. She's held her own there quite well.
Of course, the good thing is they don't need to fight that hard here because there's a car bunch of people running very wide on their head into there. It's been either being very gracious or got very little respect to the apex.
Well, the other side of it is, I suppose, if you're going in 2 or 3 abreast, you want to be wide on turn 1 to have the inside of turn 2. But ultimately, does it matter as you go down the Bentley straight? Because if you're in that back position, you're going to get them.
Well, that roll cage is radically different. That
so
aerodynamically must be fairly imperfect.
Car number 47 is Henrik Watson Miller, WM Racing. You can get a higher roll cage if you are an exceptionally tall person, and that is a case of an exceptionally high roll cage for. Well, they actually look pretty tall as they sit there. Now, maybe a B&C would have been a cheaper option for them, but he seems to be having a bit of problem because
he's into the pits now, presumably.
That's right. Yeah,
epoxy is set in at the top of that roll cage. Boss racing car as well, and when you see that change gear, it really gets the cut through. You're seeing some of the blue lights coming up, which a lot of Caterham racing won't depend on or won't have seen that before, really, or certainly won't be used to adhering to it. At the back of the Harris pack there, you've got Craig on Blood Records.
Well, interesting fact about Craig, did you know he's a second cousin of Johnny Depp?
Did not know that.
Yeah, and if you don't believe me, just look at Johnny Depp in Edward Scissorhands and look at Craig, and you'll see.
Same bloke. Same bloke.
They are, I'm surprised enough, first cousins or brothers, they're that close.
It's a twin. That's a twin, that is, bro.
Shout out to Craig, and if Hayley is listening in, shout out to Hayley, who is Craig's better half. Hayley does a massive job in motorsport UK, so fair play to her.
We're still seeing the battle with motorsports and some of the 270s there, and some of the guys there are really holding out. I'm surprised we're not seeing the first of the pit stops here. There's no real advantage, in fact it's an active disadvantage to find clear air in that sort of stints in endurance racing. You want to be in the right point of the pack. As we see, I think Harrison has got some distance through, and they have got a lap over them now, the top five.
Some aggressive defending from Will Harrison on the inside here, and he's defending from we've got Craig Evans, 2 cars behind him is Dean Holland. Craig and Charlie's team is called the Bomb Hole Bandits as they pass through Bomb Hole. So there's some great names kicking out around here. S&M Racing is one of my favourite innuendos out there. That's obviously for Ben Snape and Alistair Morton. So we love a bit of dry humour. So if anybody has anything they want to add in the comments, jumping in there. I see Dean Burden looking to jump in on this and give us some feedback, so we'll go live to Dean there now. Super, Dean, thank you for that. Great input. Again, those insights are invaluable.
I've got a text from him earlier saying, can you talk about Porsches some more, please? We've got absolutely no intention about talking about Porsches, certainly any of the Carrera Cups. But thanks anyway, Dean. It was a pleasure to hear from you.
Top man. He's moving to McLaren now as well. He's mixing it up.
I saw an Instagram post of him berating a valeter for knocking the badge off his car. I did that. As we go back to some of the hairpin racing there, Andy Davidson.
That's Ollie White in the front, Andy Davidson in car number 44, followed by Jimmy way behind. Now Jimmy, big shout out to his wife Fatima. Jimmy is a fearless racer and he is extremely ballsy. I had the pleasure of racing with him in Anglesey. And when you see Jimmy's car in your rear view mirror, you want to get out of there pretty quick because he is fearless. He will dive bomb and stick it right in there, and it's very tough. I had an unfortunate coming together with Jimmy, and I ended up rear-ending him, and all of those words sounded really bad when you replayed them. And
There's no way through there, is there, Brian?
No, my only fear was that his wife Fatima was going to absolutely kill me when we got back into the pit. So, but he got his own back on me the next day, so we called it quits things. But that happens quite regularly in Caterham racing when you are racing and you go in full chat.
I'm surprised we've not seen anybody in a barrier or spun at me as yet. I think actually that's some of the things that people are behaving themselves quite well.
Yeah, there's no major offs. Now this is a really good battle between this group, but unfortunately as soon as you pitch, this will all change, and you won't find people in this natural pace like we're seeing with Dr. Andy Palmer, Steve, Scott, and we've already seen that with the Harrises jumping in for their pit stops. Who else have we got in for pits? WM Racing has a pitted, Team Caterham Experiences. We've had our pit. Snail it has pitted, which is Benoit, and Dino and Glow in 270 have pitted.
Okay.
And that is Giles Harrison and Dean Pollan.
I think the strategy, Scott behind Bruno smacked track limits again. I think the strategy that some people have got here is to try and use a full tank of fuel, so 35, 40-minute stints, and then come in and take a break, swap a driver out. You're going to, 44, we'll see a whole group go wide with the 270s. Scott doing some Italian gestures as he came out of that there with his hands. I'm sure just nothing to invoke respect.
Whose car is that? Team BARC, isn't it?
That's and Dr. Andy Palmer.
That's Andy Palmer. Who is the other one? It must be Val Bance.
Okay.
Val Bance is Ryan Collett and Mitchell. Was Ryan in the academy as well?
Not in our yet.
Who was the Palmer? That's Sebastian Collett, so maybe there's a relation between those two. Could be father and son, could be brothers. It could be nothing. It could be like the Bond brothers who are second cousins through boarding school.
Could be like the Johnny Depp scissor.
Yes. Well, you know, back to the academy guys. We look at who's leading the race at the moment on championship with Max Richardson. Max is running a discount at the moment in Palmer Sports. You just have to use the code MAX for 25. You get a 25% discount, making sure you use his code. During his time in Road Sport, he has coached, surprisingly, Lewis Hamilton, George Russell, and he set the lap record for Joel and Palmer to use as the Formula 3000 lap record, which is amazing because he was only probably 2 or 3 when they all ran through. So big shout out to Max and Palmer Sport. All of Max's family are listening in, so I've been promised to be on my best behaviour. He lost his mullet on the last race, which clearly had no effect on his
reckless
friends, so
reckless.
He was able to kick it on.
We see a couple of moves there. Andy Palmer nips up a couple of places. We see the first, it looks like a 310 hitting as well here, which I think is probably going to be the first of it. There is a guy with a speed gun down there, and look, we've got track limits violations.
Program number 63.
Yeah, we've got two 310s in the pits at the moment, so we're going to see how that goes.
And there is drive-through penalties if you are caught exceeding the speed limit of 40 kilometers an hour through the pits, which is really hard to determine because most people have their speedometers disconnected in Caterham.
You're just going to have to pick it onto the V box, right? You're going to have to put it onto the V box.
Yeah.
40 kilometers an hour is slow. It's slow. I think typically 60 kilometers an hour in a pit lane. But obviously, there's going to be quite a bit of activity with guys getting in and out of the car. There's no one really uses handbrakes on these cars, so they're going to chop them up and put some fuel in them.
So the penalty for excessive speed in the pit lane is stop-go 1 second for each kilometre over the limit.
Oof.
So that could be quite hefty for anyone that's getting in a bit excited.
Just seeing Dr. Andy Palmer and Steve Lorimer's car going through there reminds me of Silverstone last year, where they had been together on a practice session, and Steve had a new rear basket off the back of that.
Oh, no way.
I wouldn't say that's unusual. Though, because Steve has actually had 23 rear baskets in the 18 months of Caterham racing that he's done.
Wow.
He actually keeps a whole parts department just in one speciality. It's the Triggers broom of cars. It's very well put together, but it's had quite a new front and quite a new number of new backs to it.
But he's the only one I know that has done a long front and the outlap of a race.
That's true. Yeah, that is true. And
which is unfortunate. I know Craig Evans did it on his lead lap, but it wasn't an outlap. Sorry, it was an outlap of quality. It wasn't even an outlap of race.
Someone goes wild.
Wide.
Which you think with that roll cage, you get a bit more downforce.
Henrik Watson Miller. Well, the good part of having a high roll cage is we can spot him. If he put a bit of aluminum tape on it, we could probably see him around the whole of the track.
We could get one of those flags where you find your car in car parking. Like when you lose kids at supermarket.
He should have had his team name as Hightower. He'd want one of those Confederate flags on top so we can track the whole way around, like in the dune buggies. Other flags are available.
Right, so we're getting into first half an hour done. No retirements. Car 14 into the pits. Who's car 14, bro?
Car 14 is Will Harris and
Paul Oglesby. So I think we're seeing Paul Oglesby coming out. We're going to change the driver here. Car 66. Well, the 310 of Freddie Chinnings. Freddie Chinnings has been racing Caterhams for a long time. It's quite safe. He's a championship winner as well.
And Chinnings is also holding the fastest lap record at the moment, which is 1:21.956.
Bruno is still messing around at the front of this pack of 270s. The car at 27 as well there. I don't know either of those gents.
There's Sam Parker and Alex Reid coming through.
Our dear leader is in the pits at the moment. He's not our dear leader yet, but obviously still remains as Simon for another weekend.
He is incoming. I think he starts in January as Simon does the handover over the next few months. But I can't see from the helmet. Have they pitted again? No.
There's there's half of the circuit currently running with no cars on it at all, and then everybody's bunched together. Car 77 into the Batman Robin team, bought by a road sport car, which is somebody from Caterham himself. Is that right?
So Batman and Robin is the team of Adam West is Batman and Robin is Elliot Patterson. So Adam West is the head of finance for Caterham and he raced in I want to say 2019 in Academy, and that time could be wrong. Robin in this case is Elliot Patterson, and Elliot is the MD of the newest agency for Caterham, which is Caterham Revolutions, based up in Perth in Scotland. So I guess this is first-hand experience for Elliot to find out what this is all about. which will obviously help him sell the cars a bit more and get more people on the grid. And speaking of grids, obviously next year we've got the U Academy, which will be running the horse engine because the Ford Focus engine is no longer in production, so parts are very limited. So they have replaced the engine next year going forward to a 1.4 litre, 4-cylinder horse engine, which is turbocharged. So if anyone has seen any of the pictures around it, they'll see a little hood scoop without the scoop. And that is to accommodate the extra height of the engine in the existing chassis, which hasn't changed in design from its inception in 1900s and whatever. So the horse engine is going to be running next year at 130 brake horsepower. So it's a vastly different engine to what we have now. Ours is naturally aspirated, theirs is turbo. But one of the biggest changes they're going to have is they move from a 5-speed Mazda MX-5 gearbox to a 6-speed Mazda gearbox. And I was chatting to one of the coaches, John Barnes, who had some hand in development of this, and he said the biggest challenge is when you get out of, because of the torquing, when you get out of first and second, which really is for leaving pits or the start line, you're going to be living between fourth and fifth, which is moving across the gearbox quite a lot, up and down. So I suspect next year we will see a lot of people catching the wrong gear or not catching the gear, and we'll see a lot of position adjusting in that. But I believe half of the grid is full next year, which is fantastic. So it's nice to hear that people are still jumping in and looking to go racing, because I have to say it is an incredible experience to jump in these and get racing. And can you imagine how many drivers have come through since Academy started in 1995?
Well, it's thousands. It's the biggest of all the series, really, isn't it? Certainly getting people racing onto a race license there. Well, you were talking about something about turbos and things like that, so I was zoned out there, was watching. There's a bit of racing, and that gang of four of the two, Scott Helm, and the background of shots, the Paul Oglesby and Will Harris coming out there. But there's a gang of 4 or 5, two 270s, two road sports in there. They've been battling quite a hard way as a 310 joins them, and Scott Helm put it up the inside of Bruno on a couple of occasions there as Dr. Andy Palmer gets a ticking poor exit off the end of the chicane, and he comes across. It's still quite good racing. They're continuing. They're still going around lap after lap trying to do that. This group of 4 or 5 has a big pack of the 310s looking to lap them.
Absolutely.
It's not going to take them too much.
They're all in full defence mode as they go in under the bridge into Brundle and into Melton, which is great to see, because it's the racer in everybody. You want to defend. You don't want to give up a position, even if it's to a car that is overpowering you.
I think if you're not thinking about pitting in the next 10 minutes, you certainly should be.
So these guys are trying to hang on to the back of the 310 of Boss Racing.
I actually wonder though whether they're impeding them. Because the guys are holding on quite nicely. They're going to see the 310s coming through, and they're going to try and make a break with them to some description. They just won't be able to hold on and sort out easily. Harrison was dropped back. Yeah, although Harrison's still going strong in 5th.
He's been putting in a great race, to be fair to Harrison. He hasn't pitted yet, so there's a pit stop that has to happen. Roughly half the field have pitted already. To what extent, I'm not sure. I don't know, have they just done a driver swap or have they refueled, but they're now hitting the time where they need to...
Oh, no way!
Jimmy's out.
The car stopped to say signaling to the marshals.
He's trying to talk to them, he's got the thumbs up. Jimmy Way, blue flag, he runs his car under, which is...
If you can't get that going, I think this is going to be a time to pop in a safety car there, I think. Well, they're trying to push him back. I'm not sure they're going to do that, but it's a live circuit. So
it'll be interesting to watch the yellow flag monitoring here, because they're under yellow flag until they see the next green flag, which means if anyone passes, like Bruno's about to do there, it's a drive-through penalty. So it'll be very interesting to see how they monitor that.
He's held back. Sure, not of observance. Let's see what happens.
Very quickly there.
Well, I think you're going to have a lower impact if they have some kind of...
That's valve bounce that's gone into the pits, which is Brian Pollock and Richard Mitchell.
I just want to see what's going to happen with old Jimmy. And there's Charlie Lower making his way up the inside of Scott Held there. Just going to smash Bruno on the back straight here. Oh, they've got Jimmy off the circuit. Yeah.
Hopefully he can get back into it.
Not sure why he would stop there, unless he's genuinely run out of fuel, which is a thing that some of these guys is getting out of the car. So
his race is over, which is a big shame for Jimmy because he was looking forward to this, and he's only effectively 26 laps in. But there must be a mechanical issue. I didn't see any damage to wings or anything, so I can only assume that there's a problem with power in the engine. Now Bruno's going on the outside of. I don't know who that is, but that's a very tight move coming out of bomb hole.
You got very tight bomb hole there indeed. Ali Morton and Ben Snetterton currently in the pits for a driver change, I think.
Excellent. Now Ben was the only one that came back to me with a helmet colour, so we should see who's racing by the helmet. If there's colour on it, it's Ben, and if it's not, it's Alistair.
Jimmy drops the back. What's happened? The Sober Kings. What's happened to those guys? They're a few laps back than everybody else.
Well, I would imagine they've gone into their pit and they're coming out because there's 4 laps in the difference. So they've had their pit stop and now they're working their way through the back of the pack. And if you really look at the running order, they're 4 laps in, so anyone behind them will be hitting the 4 laps and they'll be at the front of the pack on their next change round, because there's still quite a few in the road sport battle to hit. The TSL will be hard to follow because there's so many people out of position as the pits go on. I think
the lap count.
A lap count is the one you got to watch, and on the time, I would say anything from 28 minutes in. Towards the end is when we're going to see all the racing happen.
I think there's quite a bit to go yet, really, and it's a long time to be in a car here. The big thing, you've got to get 3 pit stops. These guys just doing one, and for the first time, you're going to see quite a bit of driver fatigue as every car stops 3 times. Certainly for a solo driver, it's a long time. We haven't been notified of any penalties yet, although we are expecting quite a few, and you're seeing some classic Caterham racing here. 2 cars side by side through every corner. There's a blend and a race for everybody throughout the pack here as you watch it all happening, and the slipstream is massive on the Bentley straight here. That's why you're seeing cars clumped up into packs. It's still the 310 group. The cars are all bunched together, even though they're working their way through some road sports. Then you've got a big cluster of road sports led by the 47 car of Heinrich coming through there just onto the Bentley straight at the moment. The 310s as they come through, they've got Dr. Andy Palmer in the middle of them at the moment. I'm sure at the end of this they'll be going around. For Evan's sake, still winning 29 laps so far after 40 minutes of racing, which is an extraordinary amount of time to be going around on. Normally this is twice race distance for a Caterham, and certainly very few people have experienced this. The fuel gauges are fabulously unreliable in these, and certainly as the cars take some knocks and bumps, the fuel gauge becomes less reliable over time. You see people, we can't see it in the shot at the moment. There are some pit boards out there for people to come in. It's the only way they can communicate between the car and the driver is through the pit boards.
We're going to have Django joining us for a few minutes to give us some insights on the 270 field.
Is Django down there?
Django I actually don't know if he's down there, but he's going to join in on the catch up here, and we will see what insights he has. For anyone that has met Django, his name is the most unassuming name for what you will meet in person. It's a pretty cool name. Have you met his dad, Adrian?
I haven't, no.
Adrian looks like Jason Momoa. I'm like, are you kidding me? We've got a cool name and you look like Jason Momoa. And he had a massive barbecue cooking at a Zambo, so he's a man of many talents.
Harrison nips into third place there as he completes his 30th lap of this 200 circuits. I think the leader guys have just come in for a pit stop. Car 93, we have Mike and Steve Evans.
Big gaps forming up there now.
Oh, that's the first time we've seen the car 58 of James
James Platt, which we have all renamed James Splat because James has been unfortunate enough to have quite a few major accidents. And he has told us that his finish rate is currently at 60%, which is a worrying fact to have immortalised in a percentage.
I think James works in insurance, which there's an irony in that I don't think he could obtain insurance on that long front.
No, but this is one of those nice ironies in life, where you've got an insurance guy who probably can't get any high-risk insurance for himself.
He wouldn't lend him the pen to sign the form. And
he wouldn't. Now we have Django joining us. Welcome, Django. Loud and clear.
Hi, mate.
Where are you calling from, Django? Oh. Excellent. So, Django, have you been following in on the race? Have you got FOMO that you're not here? No, we're saving ourselves for the championship. We want to make sure that we can hold down the 4th and 5th and 6th positions of the world in a steadfast without any complaints. So.
Also, I hear there he took 45 rear wings, so disqualified me and Brian from entering the race weekend.
The problem really is, Django, that the Caterham China hasn't got up to speed in making enough parts for the parts truck. So because they've got a limited amount of parts to carry, they didn't want the highest users in there, which is interesting because Paul Oglesby is there. So I'm not sure how that worked out. Maybe he slipped
Lock your exhausts up.
He slipped in under the radar.
Yeah, I've definitely had my fair share of moments with Paul this season as he jumped to 270 with us.
That's right. So tell us a bit of that insight. How is it racing with someone that jumps from Academy up into 270 where you are?
Yeah, it was refreshing. I mean, it's my 3rd year of Caterham now, and it was nice to have some fresh faces on the grid. Definitely. I mean, it all started at the beginning of the season here at Snetterton, where the 3 drivers that jumped from our Academy to 270 all managed to find themselves in some sort of situation in race 1. So
I'm just going to correct you there. It took me till race 3 to hit anybody.
In fact, I think you were the only one, Alex, that didn't hit anyone in that race. I think you somehow dodged the group chat afterwards, sat there slightly smugly. But I think we had a great battle at Snetterton in race 1. But yeah, so some of the other drivers they settled in by about race 3, and it's been a great season since then, really.
Can I just say, let's take a screenshot of this TSL board because I suspect that's the highest we'll ever see SPL Motorsport on it, sitting in 4th, with Team Cyber, Scott Helm right behind them in 5th. So that's sitting 1st and 2nd in category, and everybody's gone into the pits now because Cavers has jumped up into 3rd position overall, 1st in category. To be fair to Harrison, he's on a great race.
32 laps.
Yeah, it's bloody good going, isn't it?
Harrison's a personal trainer by trade, and I'm surprised that's the reason why he's not utterly exhausted by 40 minutes of this.
Well, you see, it's not even that. It's how long does the fuel tank last?
Well, he must be close to it.
At what point are you looking at that really unreliable gauge going, I wonder, is there another lap left of this?
I mean, actually, the best way of getting out of this might just be to run out of fuel somewhere mid-circuit and go home.
And that could be what happened to Jimmy. He may have run out of fuel. We don't know.
Yeah, just to give himself the afternoon off.
We will tell everybody that Jimmy has.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm just looking at the entry board. Is it Harrison's doing it as a solo driver? Is he?
That's right. Yeah.
It must be a massive jump from the 20 minutes we're used to. I heard you guys talk about it earlier, but that kind of in the 20-minute race, every moment is an opportunity to place higher. Whereas in this endurance racing, you're not even sure if the person you're racing next to is in first, third, or fifth. Sometimes, depending where their pit stops have been.
Django, we're getting feedback that people can't hear you, so people might think that Dean Burden is giving input here again. So we're just going to see if we can get that live.
But you can't hear me?
Oh, you can now. We got it. We're live.
We're back, are we?
We are back.
Okay. I was just saying, it must be. I mean, I certainly haven't done it, and nor have any of us. The jump from a 20-minute race to a 2-hour race as a solo drive must be a big change in pacing behind the wheel.
Absolutely.
Going from, as we know, the 20 minutes, every move is an opportunity to finish the race higher, let alone just hold for the next couple of laps. Whereas in this
Harry Senior and Charlie Lower, the guys just smacked out a fastest lap of the race, gone purple.
And as they nip in to refuel, so I'm guessing they have just ran at their lightest and stuck a great lap in.
To smash that out, that's pretty cool.
That's fastest by over a second.
Yeah, they're going for it. I think they're the strong contenders here. You've got 21.5 from Boss Racing as well, the guy, the 66 car. Freddie Chiddicks, who's done a lot of racing. Freddie Chiddicks won his Academy year, I think, from the that was the televised series. Is it 21, 22?
Yeah.
There's Mitch Fasayana chasing down Ollie White.
Is it Mitch in the car now? Can you see that?
I don't know who's in the car, but it's his car.
Okay.
And to the point, Lower has put in time 0.3 quicker than Chiddicks. 0.6 quicker. So half a second quicker on his fastest lap, so that's been a blistering lap.
It's a new engine as well in that car.
Is it?
Yeah, the fluorescent TPM car, unfortunately, last race the engine blew in Zandvoort, so it's a new engine in. So, it seems to be going well.
We've all done that. Actually, Alex, you haven't blown an engine yet, have you?
Currently on the same engine.
Wow.
Currently on the same engine. We see SPL are in the pits. I think they'll be doing a driver change. So it'll be Steve Lorryman, which, interestingly, Lorryman is an anagram for slow through corners.
Another interesting fact, which I found out recently, did you know that Steve got a leg extension surgery so that he would be the same height as Bruno for this race, so that they could use Bruno's wheel seat?
I did not know that.
Yeah, true story. Very, very, very committed, but that's how serious he's taken about it. There was a movie done about that. Has anyone ever seen the movie Gattaca? A really old movie, very good movie, but it's how your position in life is dictated by your DNA and your jobs and all of this. And the guy who is played by Ethan Hawke has his legs extended to get a new role in life. So, maybe he got some inspiration from this.
No idea.
Bizarre.
During that insight about leg extensions, Harrison finally pitted for a refill.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he really ran that.
Wow.
Really
35 laps in? That's amazing.
35 laps, 51 minutes. That's a long time to be out there on that. But Scott Helm popped in. The Team Cyber running his. He must be. Scott sort of knows what he's doing with mechanical stuff. Usually, so I'd be surprised to see Scott run out of fuel.
Definitely not. Scott is quite methodical. He likes to have everything planned and working right. So I would be shocked if he went out of fuel. But strangest things have happened.
I'm surprised. Where's the first place now for a road sport car?
Team Cyber, which is Scott Helm, but he hasn't pitted yet.
Hasn't pitted yet. So who's next in there?
The Bombhole Bandits are behind him. No innuendos there, please. And then we've got Ollie White in HWM Caterham behind him again. So, and High Roll, which is Mitch Fasayana and Matt
That's easy for you to say, Brian.
Yeah, honestly, what a mouthful. I'm so glad none of their car numbers are free.
I had a telex meeting this week with an Irish fella that I booked for 3:30, and it made me laugh the whole time.
There's a few re-entries in the 270s for some drivers that we haven't seen for a while, which is nice to see them back in this championship. I think car number 48 is being driven by two of my academy year drivers who hadn't competed the last season or so. In a reappearance. It's nice to see. I think there's a few drivers like Chiddick, for example, coming back for it. This event's shown a bit of freshness, I think, to the grids, which is nice to see.
Absolutely, and it's all about a bit of fun. You know, there's a good cause in the back of it all, where people are trying to win this to get donations for their charities and raise awareness. But I think, as you said, like the Academy takes quite a lot of time. I don't think anyone ever really tells you the time it takes out of your life, because if you really want to have a good go at it, you're going to commit to it. And a lot of people take the year off afterwards, or 2 years, and they never sell the car. And I think that's a really nice thing, that they're able to jump back into something and have a race like this where they can just brush the dust off and get back going again.
Did you say Cavers has come in? This is currently showing Cavers is leading the pack and done 37 laps.
Yeah, but he has a pit stop beside him. He has pitted.
Yeah. He pitted at the same time as Lower. I'm guessing they came in together, but he seemed to come out almost instantly, so I'm not sure what that was.
Interestingly, there are people that have had 2 pits already. So, you know, if we look at Snail, Valve Bounce, and Torque Dirty to me, which is a good name for your teammates, they've all pitted twice now. So I don't know if they've done a driver change off .1 and now they're on their fuel change. Who knows?
That first change was about 7 minutes in for the Torque Dirty beating me, which is I'm not sure if that was scheduled or maybe they were just trying to break away from the pack. The time seemed to speed up for them once they broke away from the pack of 6 that were going around. I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything from them, but I'm sure they're looking at the track, not their phones right now.
Ultimately, you've got a 12-minute minimum pit stop required for road sport. 270 needs 13 minutes, and the 310s need 15 minutes 45 seconds. So,
I'm a bit nervous about Harry Seeley and Charlie Lowe have been pits for seemingly a long time here.
Well, they could be just running the clock out. Ultimately they have to make up 15 minutes 45 seconds, and they don't need to pit for their. If they use up all of their time now for their third pit, they can just do a drive-through. They don't have to stop, as far as I know.
Just doing it as a 2-hour. Crikey, that sounds like hard work.
So this is where a lot of the strategies will come into play, and I would love to hear at the end of this race how many people have used ChatGPT to formalise their strategy.
I can't imagine Caterham racing is that precise, to be honest.
No, but there are people that will be geek enough to do it.
Oh yeah, I've seen some of the calculations from Steve Lorriman for this, and we've worked quite hard on this to get this going. There's still someone out there with an AM sticker, a novice sticker on that.
That's Mitch. Mitch has
of course, yeah.
Mitch has his novice sticker. So Mitch has come into Road Sport, skipped Academy, and he's one of 2 racers in our group that have novice stickers. So he couldn't go to Zandvoort because he didn't have enough races. I think you need 6 to get a race national license so that you can go into abroad races.
He's in the car with Tom Empson, who's an incredible driver. He's a driver coach for Williams. But he races in GT3 Open, Ferrari.
Who's that?
Tom Empson in the same car.
With who?
In with Mitch.
Is that not Max Coates that's in with him?
I've got on James Empson.
Well, whether it's Max or James, both of them are extremely accomplished racers.
Yeah. That's in the kind of greeny, patchworky car.
No, Mitch is in the grey car number 18. It's grey
I see.
With the 2 black lines down the middle.
Yeah, my apologies. I was looking in the car with Drake and James Empson, but I'm not sure who Drake is. But that car also seems to have a novice sticker on, even though James is a 310 driver for a few years.
They're in 310, aren't they?
Yes, yeah. But I'm not sure why they have a novice sticker on their car as well.
It could be one of those jokes that someone stuck on and they don't even know it's there.
I think it might be that.
We've all done it.
I think you and stickers went hand in hand some of this season.
Absolutely. I'm just getting word off the producer that we're getting James Hall patched in from Scotland.
Brilliant.
got James?
No, I don't think we do.
No,
It's done a full Dean Burden interview there.
Technical difficulty. I just see Craig Evans pulling into to the pits now, so he's doing his pit stop.
I can see another black and white flag going out there as well. I should imagine there's going to be quite a few.
Yeah, we've got track limits for car number 42, which is Team Cyber. That's Scott Helm. Now, I haven't seen anything for track limits in the penalties. No. Sorry, there's a drive-through penalty for not respecting track limits. So I don't know if it's at the discretion of the pit guys of what the drive-through looks like, or how many offences you need to have.
No, I'm just having a look on a TSL live timing.
It's a lot of racing. You know, we all of us here on this call had to do our obligatory marshalling in our academy year, and I was fortunate and unfortunate enough to have done mine in Silverstone. It was a great track to do it in, but we were on the end of the Old Hanger Straight where no action happens. And I always remember we were there for a 2-hour race, and it was with a lot of the big cars, but there was a big Bentley V12 in it, and it was a monster looking car. But by the end of the 2 hours, I was sick of looking at it, because all you would hear coming down the home straight is roar, roar, and I'm going, if I have to listen to this for another 2 hours, it's going to absolutely drive me backwards. So heads, fair play to all the marshals out there helping them out, and it looks like they're going to be busy with this one ring that's about to break off.
Oh yeah, that's a pretty standard case from injury, that is. So if we can get rid of that, the less damage that's going to do to the tyre. Just clip one of these barriers clip one of the posts on the left hand side.
You got it, because it's very irritating looking at that, isn't it?
Yeah, just smack that off.
Batman and Robin are going in. I'm assuming with Batman Markle on the back, that is Batman and Robin, who is.
There are quite a few track limits here. I haven't seen the penalties for it. Some car 47 has had a couple of infringements.
Car 47 has had two infringements, but I thought he would have missed one because he went out so wide. I thought he would have went around the track limit.
Around the sensor.
Yeah. which
I have
gotten very good at doing that.
I think the gravitational pull of that roll cage probably pulled it back in, so there's the centre of gravity.
He could get immense downforce on that if you just put a little roof on it, wouldn't he?
Yellow flag. Someone facing the wrong direction there.
That is Heinrich.
And that's Harrison Cavers back into the pit lane as well, it would seem.
On his second pit stop.
On his second pit stop already, I'm not sure.
Well, they're halfway through. You know, Harrison is he's a fitness nerd, so maybe he's in getting some protein while he's setting himself up in some electrolytes for the rest of his race.
It was a pretty cool photo of him and his dad not killing the Porsches. The Heinrich car after the spin there looks like it's limping back.
I was looking at the photo.
It stopped on track and he's waving to the marshals.
He's in trouble. We've got the marshals coming to him. He's telling them that he's done.
That's not in place to stop that, is it? Is that going to be our first safety car?
Good showing the flags. He'll probably, unless they can get him off, and I don't think there's enough spread on the track to allow the marshals to get him safely.
Here comes Craig.
That's great timing for Craig to come in and do his pit stop, because there's a good chance there will be a safety car, and that will bunch them all up again.
I think Steve Lorimer will use this if it is a safety car as an opportunity to get out of the car.
Yeah, there are a lot of yellow flags there.
Sorry, I'm back. There's
there's Rich. We haven't seen much of Rich going around. Rich and Andrew Davidson together there.
They're having a great battle, and Rich is in pit stop number 2, and he's a solo racer. It's a shame we can't see who the solo racers are in this, but on the leaderboard. But Rich is absolutely committed to his maverick approach on his car and his helmet and how he's named everything. So if you haven't figured it from now, Rich Haig is a big Top Gun fan. So he is doing this solo because Goose is dead. So very sad.
I met
Oh, man.
Sorry, Django.
sorry, I'm laughing at a few things. I'm just liking to think that you had definitely sat down last night writing out these jokes.
No, that one just came to me. Last night I was having too much banter with the Academy team, where they added me to the Academy group, and I was after having a few beers, so it was gloves off, full abuse. So
yeah, we had a laugh.
I've summarized the Academy pretty easy. So all the Academy wanted to say was all the attention was to be about Max Richardson. The Bond boys are second cousins, twice removed. Georgie is back from Bali, and she doesn't like surprises. So I don't know if she's gone over to Bali to avoid a love triangle or come back from a love triangle and into another one. I'm not sure. Matt Fox is very serious about the race. Evans and Davison identify as Richard. I'm not really sure what that's about. And Kyle is late to the party. So big shout out
Safety
to
car.
We just had a safety car come out there.
There we go. Safety car's out. Jimmy's back.
Jimmy, no way.
Jimmy's
But that's
back.
brilliant.
Brings in Steve Lorrimer, who's also got the snooker gloves out.
I just want to see Jimmy is 8 laps in. So Jimmy has 35 out of 43 laps done.
Is he going to use the? I mean, you're going to try and use the safety car bit up to the safety car to pull a bit of time back, maybe. Or there's no advantage there, is there? You've got to think of a pit stop in here.
What I love about Jimmy being back now is Jimmy is going to race like the laps count, even though there's like 6 or 7 laps in between him and anyone else, and he's going to cause absolute havoc. So it's great to see him back out.
I'm not sure how many times you two have done it, but I've spent many races where I've either spun near the start or had to start from the back, and that kind of racing when you don't feel like every turn matters is some of the best racing you'll ever experience. Especially just when you're there and you're happy you're still getting to drive around in circles. It's some of the best fun. So hopefully Jimmy really enjoys the rest of his race.
I did a knock hill Django where I rear-ended shockingly Dean Burton, and my nose cone went under my wheel, which just turned me into a skier. And I got out of the pits 3 laps later, and I made it from 25th up to 10th, and I came into Parc Ferme delighted with myself, going, yes, I got to 10th, and then I was like, oh crap, there's still 3 laps in between everybody.
I did the same thing. End of last year at Donington Park, in some of the most torrential rain we've ever raced in. I had to come in because I had an electrical failure, so my rain light went out. But they let me start the race and then brought me in 2 laps after the start, which I wasn't happy about. And then Caterham, the emergency team, managed to get it turned around and chuck a new fuse in. They thought it was just that. It turned out to be more in the end. And again, I went out, raced my heart out, and then went, that was brilliant, but I'm about 4 laps down. But luckily in road sport you get 2 races, so there was still time to redeem, and I think I made it back to about 4th, which was a good race. But you do forget in the moment that you are not actually still in the race.
Absolutely. I don't know if anybody's actually watching the layout tracking, but the safety car is behind all cars, so no one has actually managed to catch up to the safety car and form 4 minutes behind it. Car number 93 is...
This is Mark's Dancer nightmare with safety cars. I think he's slowed down now. There's a bit of a wing at the end of the straight as well. I slowed down to pick up, or whether it's the leader or just anybody really, but they are going round at a seemingly minute pace. Yeah.
The safety car pulling everyone back together is going to make it very interesting. If you look at the stagger of road sport and 310s that are in the top 10, pulling the 310s all back together from around the track is definitely going to jumble up some people's strategies for avoiding groups and refueling, I think.
Absolutely. And I guess under the safety car, the guys will really feel the heat being emitted from these cars, because there's huge heat emitted down in the drive tunnel on your legs in a normal race, and you rely on getting back up to speed to get a breeze in across your face and your body. But in the safety car, these guys are going to be cooking. Absolutely, guys and girls are going to be cooking in the car. There's going to be immense heat.
We've had it before, especially Zandvoort last year. Unfortunately, it was a bit of a bad crash lap 1 of our race, and then they left us out on the start straight with no information for about half an hour.
That looked horrendous. So in the review of that, they've deleted the crash, so you can't see that on the live stream. But you can see all of you guys having to sit on the grid for what seemed like, I guess, an eternity in massive heat.
Yeah, the two cars actually overheated because they didn't turn their engines off and couldn't start the race in the end. So it was just yeah, it was a bit. We had the same at Brands Hatch last year as well. We had to restart the race 3 times, and I think it was after that paddock party that I might have had too many beers at, and I almost didn't want to start the race. I was feeling so beaten by the sun.
Yeah, poor Alex has nightmares of Brands Hatch where Bruno tried to mount him and take him out of the track.
It's true.
Yeah, well, it really wasn't nice. Django, how did you get into Academy? What got you into Academy?
I've been asked this many times by many people, and I still don't really have a straight answer. I live nearby to the Williams team, and kind of through my dad kind of found the opportunity and was like, "Do you want to race?" And I wasn't really sure if he's being serious, but it turns out he was. And I built the car, which is a big sell for us. Being able to build your own car was kind of one of the reasons we went with Caterham over Fiestas or something else. But kind of getting it like big Meccano and being able to put it all together and do that together and learn about the car.
Oh, Jesus Christ, look at this car being taken for something. Wow. This is not a sensible idea.
That's is it coming from the wheel or the engine? That's the wheel. It must be the wheel.
Oh yeah, okay. That's slightly better.
But I don't know if you're aware or not, are they still doing the build-it-yourself scheme with the new Academy cars next year?
Well, I'm going to say no, based on what I saw underneath the engine bay when I took the hood off and looked inside at how complicated the new setup is. But I don't know the answer. It looks like there's a lot going on in a very small space.
I saw it at Snetterton at the beginning of the season. They were out testing it, and they said that it looked so blown up because they hadn't refined and reorganized things yet. I mean, having built it myself, you do get the engine as a complete bit and not allowed to touch it, so maybe it wouldn't affect, but...
car lights are off.
We're going back to racing.
We're away.
There's no big advantage here, though, for these guys. I don't think they've still got 50 minutes to go. There's nowhere. Don't back the pack up too much because I like the fact that some people are trying to heat the tyres up that have been run for 65 minutes. You'll be able to cook an egg on the surface of those.
I mean, you both briefly spoke earlier about the difference of people running different tyres in this race. But having raced the Toyos this season, by the end of 20 minutes, the lap time of Zandvoort was almost a second and a half down after I cooked them in lap 3. I'm not sure how they're lasting out there during
Flag
this.
screen tracks live.
In fact, that looks like some haven't seen yet.
The tyres will all be massively fatigued. We all know what it's like when you run.
I think some of the guys are running the Avons though to this. I think it's certainly not optimum to run Avons. I think they had difficulty getting them and fitting them and things like that in time.
But does it matter after an hour on the one tyre?
Probably not.
You know, and it's really a matter of perspective. I think once you're used to a certain level of grip at a small window.
3-lap penalty I've got on my
car
screen.
37, yeah. Who's that?
Wow, car 37 is...
Not my list, though.
It's not showing anything for me.
No.
I have no car 37.
No, me neither.
Towback penalty.
Lucky for them. So there is a penalty if you reverse in under your own power. There is a penalty, but that's just a drive-through.
I had a little bit of insight about the one of the car's strategy from the group chat. We were wondering on the TPM front of why they decided to pit it so early on, and it was just a drive-through to break away from the group. Just to avoid an early incident, apparently.
Well, that would make sense because most of the instances would happen in the first 2 or 3 laps.
It's been pretty clean so far, though. I think we haven't seen anything, have we? We saw that missed gear and the rear nudge there.
Apart from the missed gear, I haven't seen any collisions. Now we're not going to see a colour of what's going on, but most people have their wings still intact, which is the biggest tell.
Well, as we all know, it's the final quarter where everything heats up. And normally that's
Scott Helm there, struggling not to go in the back of the number
Scott has been
4 car.
backed up there from number 4, yeah.
And Craig Jarvis. Just didn't get a good exit for the second part of the chicane.
No, and he probably
These 310s are going at it.
They've been going at it for the last season, really, most of them, and clearly they're carrying that through out of the championship as well.
There seems to be a good stream moving to 420 now, which will leave the 310 field quite small, unless there's a lot of people going to go up from 270 to 310.
I know multiple people that are going from 270 to 420. Which seems to be the move.
It would really put a question mark over what 310 is doing next year with numbers, because they're already pretty low this year.
Especially with it being divided between Pro-Am and Am.
Yeah.
I know Gareth competes in Am under the TPM tent, and sometimes they're only competing against 4 other people for their championship, which means brings back lots of trophies, but you're racing the same 2 people a lot of the time.
Which would be no fun, and it goes back to the point you made earlier on, how nice it is getting new faces into the paddock to give you a chance to push yourself and race. Because I guess you can get comfortable with knowing people's driving styles and how they react under certain pressures.
Absolutely. I mean, as well as knowing that can be a massively beneficial thing, as you learn kind of people aren't going to be erratic or do something that you're not expecting. Doesn't make any less closer racing. If anything, it brings the racing closer together as everyone gets confident in each other's abilities. It also means you avoid certain people on the racetrack, as I'm sure we've all experienced over the years. I'm sure many people will say that about me as well. But I mean, we're kind of closing into the end here, and I think I'm going to leave you guys to it to finish off the commentary.
All right, Django, thank you very much.
I think it was just one more shout out to the Marshals as well. They're going to have a hell of a weekend this weekend with that 24-hour CV race. But yeah, I mean,
absolute massive shout out to the Marshals and all the stewards and the officials up in race control, because that's a long stint. They've got 26 hours to manage the 2 CV crowd between qualies and racing. And then they're going to get through the night and work under tough conditions, because I guess they're not going to have a huge amount of track bike to work with either.
And there's, watching anything for 24 hours gets tiresome, but when the top speed is 60 miles an hour, I'm sure it feels a bit like watching the supermarket go by sometimes.
Absolutely. But even the fast cars, it's like watching the supermarket go by, because it's monotonous.
Absolutely. And a big thank you to Joe in the Academy this weekend for supplying the Marshals with some treats and goodies from the Marshall Bank. Did an amazing job. So yeah, I'll leave you guys to it.
It's a tough job, and they don't do it for money. It's all volunteer work, and there's an amazing community with all of the Marshals where they're quite like family. So fair play to them all, and without them, there would be no racing. So big shout out to all the Orange Army.
Absolutely. Right, I'll leave you guys to it. Thank you so much for having me.
For the people that can't see Django on the live stream, he's wearing a plastic apron which makes him look like an extra out of Dexter. Like he's just had to get rid of a lot of bodies.
I actually disconnected and my phone overheated, sat in my car, so I'm going to leave you guys to it. Enjoy the rest of the racing, and I'll see you all at Alton Park in a few weeks.
Take care.
See you in a bit. Bye-bye.
I've just had word from the team that Sam Parker will join us in a few minutes. She is out of the car after her stint, so we'll get an inside feed of what it's been like racing for the last hour, and see if we can catch up with anyone down on the pit lanes.
That means our dear leader is going to be out on track at the moment. Alex Reed, the race driver here. We did have a few things pre-prepared from Alex to say, and they've all written actually. So Alex is passionate about motorsport. He's did some tin top classes. He's going to be looking after Caterham Motorsport from next year. And will be the dear leader that we hope him to be.
Well, he didn't get the title Sir Alex for nothing, so fair play to him. He's I don't know what the running order is in the UK with the monarchy. Do you get MBE first? Is it Sir? Do you skip one or skip the other? How does that work?
I'm not sure entirely, but I've never really considered myself as being up for any accolade, apart from third place in the odd race.
You bet me to it. You bet me to it. I'm just getting word that Dean Burden has bet me down in the pits.
Oh, great! Let's catch up with Dean. Come on, Dean, give us your insight. Man, a few words, Dean Burden.
Thank you, Dean. Thank you, Dean. That was very insightful.
Scott Helm's just gone past Steve Lorryman there. Scott's still going well on his own. The white gloves are not made. Here you go. Who's this? Ben Snape is working his way. I assume it's Ben Snape.
No, that's Will Harris's car.
No, the okay, not that one, Rob.
That was Will Harris with Jake behind him. There is Steve with. I'm going to say it's Steve because no, it's white gloves. It's Bruno.
No, they're both
Bruno's
white gloves.
Bruno's white helmet. So that is Steve with Jimmy breathing down his neck. And we're up to record numbers here that joined us on the live stream. We're at 161 people on the live stream. So hello to all of the 161. I've just upset a few. We're at 157. So if there's any
we're getting some live feedback, and they're asking, can you be less Irish? It's not possible.
That's really struggling. I will try and talk slower for sure.
Who's behind Steve Lorryman there in the silver car? Is it 60?
It's either was it car number 60?
Just Scott. Well, no, that's Scott, and then it's Team S&M behind Scott. And Steve's lost a wing.
Oh,
he's into the pits.
There's a wing gone. So
wing away.
Maybe Steve has been scared in now because he's had a wing blow. So that
I think he's done 25 minutes, which is exactly what the strategy was. Did a lovely little bit of an indicating there as well to come in.
Based on the overalls in Craig Evans' car, that is Charlie Harris behind the wheel now. So Charlie is sitting 4th or 5th in the championship at the moment, has had plenty of podiums already. It's a very keen racer. So he has... Who is he behind him? Ollie White. Ollie is a solo rider, so Ollie is he's going pretty hard there. And Ollie he's racing under HWM, so HWM is probably, I believe they've got 7 of the positions filled already for next year's grid, which means there will be a lot of South Londoners on the grid, so it'll be great.
Where did you buy your car from, bro?
I bought mine direct from Caterham, and then Caterham moved me over to HWM because they had just gotten the agency. So because I'm in Ireland, there is no or was no Irish dealer that was offering it, so I went straight to the source, which ended up being dealing with Alex Reid, and he was quite good and managed our dear leader. He managed all of my questions, not so much expectations, quite well. And then I was handed over to the safe hands of Ollie White, who has been a superstar, and I can see why he sold so many cars into the grid. He knows what he's talking about.
I bought my car off Ollie as well.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. I think a lot of people obviously coming into it. It's the names just dealing themselves. Certainly there. Oh, hang on a second. We've got some replay action.
That looks
He's
like,
taking.
Who is that?
It's pretty wild. That's quite close to the Brian Thornton line.
That is a very patented line. It's the rallycross line. You see, the beauty with racing like this is, as soon as somebody kicks up a puff of smoke or a puff of dust, you just get instantly drawn to it. So maybe it was a decoy tactic where he wanted to draw them all into going on.
I'm going to say that's not fast. I'm going to say that without getting too technical. I don't think that's particularly fast at all.
No,
the 99 car there. Yeah, 99 there. It's really hassling the back.
That is Dean Pollan's car in front of him.
Yeah, it's going to have him again in this straight, isn't it?
I reckon he will, and that's 2 different categories. You've got 270 leading, and then he's even quicker because he's missing a wing, and then you've got Ben Snape driving right behind him.
Well, I can't tell if it's Ben Snape or Ali Morton in there.
Well, that is correct. I can't see either.
I can see lots of people chucking out pit bulls.
We still don't know who car 37 is. 47.
I think car 37 is actually car 47. And it's relating to the stoppage. You get 3 because he got towed by another car. So presumably they're going to try and recover him back to the pits and see if he gets out again. But
well, he's marked as only having completed 14 laps, so he may get back out.
Okay. It's 2 310s there, trying to lower. I missed the second car, but they'll be going. Those guys are going well. They've got to be in this really. I think for the they've done Charlie. They've done 2 of the 3 pit stops, haven't they?
They have. Have you seen the message there on all the track limits? So car number 20, which is no surprise. Steve Lorryman has had 5 occurrences of track limits, which is the highest. Car number 40, which is Low and Boyle Apex Hunters in the 310, have 4. Car number 63, which is Team Valkyrie, which is Andy Palmer, has 4 also. And then there's a car 42, 47, and 96 are all sitting at 3 track limits. So all in all, there hasn't been a huge amount of track limits, but there are a good few. And amazingly, there's only 35 minutes of racing left. So I suspect in the next 10 minutes or 5 minutes or less, we will see people hitting for the last few times, and we will have a full race on our hands.
You've got some YouTube comments coming in here as well. You've got some guys in Germany messaging us. Got some guys in Canada. Most exotically, there's somebody in Donington Park watching this race.
Which is really it's a country on its own, isn't it? It's a special place. But big shout out to the Canadian boys, Andrew Cornell and whoever else is out there. Have we got 2 people from Germany now? I think we do. Maybe they're sitting beside each other. We don't know.
Who knew?
But it's great that there's a bit of a reach across the world where people have an interest.
It's gone global, Brian. It's gone global. Jimmy looks like he's in trouble there. No way.
He's in trouble. You see, I think most of them have been lulled into the false sense that they were hoping there was going to be mass amounts of crashes that normally happen to Caterham, but it's been very clean racing. It's been really good.
Jimmy looks in trouble.
His rear left seems to be at a funny angle, so I don't know if he's gotten a smack or that's just the way he's running his rig, but it looks...
I hope he finds a way through there.
It looks a bit severe. Charlie Lower and... who's with Charlie?
Charlie and Harry.
Yeah, so Harry Senior, they are just in a class of their own, flying through at the moment. They've got a lot of 310s on their back, but they certainly have the most lead control time, and they have.
But I mean, the gap from car 21 with Harry and Charlie to gap 2 is 0.7 of a second. Then you've got nearly 18-second gap to car number 3. So you've got some distance there, but it is pretty tight at the top 2 of it, and certainly the pit stops are going to make a big difference. If that is the difference, 0.7 of a second, trying to make that in a pit stop is. No one's got any real experience of doing setting out these guys doing pit stops with live fueling and driver changes. 0.7 seconds is an easy thing to lose or gain on that.
Very, very, very easy to lose. It'll be interesting to hear back at the end of the race what people felt that the tyre degradation was like, and could they really feel it, or did it just plateau after 5 minutes and it was like that for the rest of the race?
I mean, the word interesting there is doing quite a lot of heavy lifting in that sense, Brian.
Absolutely. Well, we've got more tuned in from Ontario in Canada, or they're all there in Ontario and Rugby Tour. No, 2 different guys. We're up to 165. We are just smashing records here.
I mean, we're big in Canada. It's unusual. Only country I've ever been deported from. Another story.
Well, we've got somebody from Orlando.
From Bentley chasing down the Bentley straight there.
Drive.
I follow a guy who's got in North Carolina who's got a 420 and does track days again. It looks like it fits in the boot of some of the other cars that does on track days there.
It would be interesting to take a 620 over to the States. You would probably spank most things.
Yeah, quick car, man.
Have you ever been on a 620?
No, I haven't.
No, I haven't. I have had Alex in Caterham tell me about them, so I would be curious to see what they're like. There was a rumour of them being banned on the Nürburgring because they were so fast, but I'm sure like every Caterham on every track day, we're just annoying little wasps around people.
Okay. I mean, I've just seen another post on Instagram about Paul Goldstein doing a 420 championship round in Ulster, which he is denying, which almost certainly thinks it's true. That rounds him up to an even 23 championships as participating in this year. As we see Bruno van Dijk back in the car with his white helmet and white gloves.
Didn't I hear that Paul Goldstein is starting his own championship as well, so that he can make it 24 for 24?
I think there is one spare weekend a year that he's looking to fill with another race, although no one's actually sure of that entirely.
Did you know, again, another interesting fact, Paul Goldstein is related to Ron Jeremy?
Did not know that, Brian.
No.
Did not know that.
I was amazed, but when I saw the two side by side, much like Craig and Johnny Depp, it was undeniable. Absolutely undeniable.
Bruno goes through past Ollie White there. And we are getting some overtakes throughout. Ollie looks to come back through the bomb hole. Scott Helm doing quite well here. Winning, he's got a lot of expectations for his championship here, which I think we all hope that you would actually drive somewhere between the white lines, Brian, and give him a bit of a run for this.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. I've just had word from the top man. Bob has messaged me. I got a fact wrong. It was a 1.3 horse engine, not a 1.4. But Bob should have known, because I'm Irish, I would first saying the word 3 because I say it like tree. So that's why I rounded it up to a 1.4. But absolutely. And he says number of kits is 26. So that must be 26 people.
Oh, there's a bit of smoke here. That looks like an engine gone from Charlie Lower. Who's running
lower. That's a rubber smoke. I reckon it's rubber. Yeah. I hope it's right. Yeah, it's his front wheel.
It is. It's front left.
Yeah. And that's so annoying because the smell of that when you're racing is so off-putting.
He's coming into the pits.
Well, that's wise, because he can get into the pits and he can get out, get some of his pit time down by getting the same thing done.
Oh man, there's a lot of smoke there, isn't there?
Yeah, you see, if your wheel stay or your wing stay drops too low, it's constantly rubbing on the tyre, and those crack off very easily. And all it takes is one little nudge, and they drop down, and all of a sudden you've got a smoke bomb, which is really off-putting for the cars behind as well, because all you want to do is follow that smoke to wherever it leads you.
I hear Sam's outfit at cars did the quickest time of the weekend. Which is good. So she's managed to do that.
She's just said that it is quite noisy down the pit, so she mightn't be available. Bob has given us an update to Django's question. Academy kits will be available in 2027. So from 2027, we will be able to build our own Academy cars, like they are doing now with the current Ford engine in there. So I guess that gives them next year to bed in the new arrangement with Horse and how they're all running, and then build up the manuals and all of the paperwork that goes with it to how they can actually build them at home safely and get them out to track. And more importantly, the biggest job is getting them through IVA, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I never really fancy building myself. I wouldn't want to drive around anything that I put together.
Absolutely. There's no way I would want to take responsibility for any of the many things I would do wrong in that car.
It's not my gift, that isn't.
No. And I'm smart enough to know what I'm good at and what I'm not good at. Although, having said that, I don't know why I'm still racing sometimes.
Yeah.
See, there's a self-deprecation. We've got
tussle there.
SPL fighting it out with 310 of Freddie Chiddix.
Wow. That's Bruno and Freddie there. I'm watching on another screen here, celebration from the Academy race with Max doing a shoey out of a croc.
That's absolutely disgusting. But also quite clever.
I thought the internet was full of some vile things, and then you go and see something like that.
But then the beauty of doing a shoey out of a crock is there's actually no liquid left because it's just poured out of all the band. Oh Lord.
We're down to the last half hour, really. Have we got a list of the pit stops here? So there's quite a few people. I mean, there's Andy Palmer. Scott Helmer's still on a single pit stop here, as well as Andrew Davis in the 44 car.
Yeah.
He's still got to come through and do another pit stop. The top two guys here, the top winning teams at the moment, the 310s, are both done 2 pit stops, and whatever's happening with that Charlie Lower car, being the smoke, that's hopefully being repaired. And we're back out, but that is, I mean, they've gone out and they've set the fastest lap, they're purple, 1:21.36. So I know that is the fastest lap, not from the last lap. Apologies, that was when they were coming in and they were light on fuel.
It'll be interesting to see once people level up their pit stops, because there currently seems to be an average of a 2-lap gap in between pit stops. So you've Andrew Davison, for example, in Hammer Time running in at 55 laps. And then you've got teams behind them that haven't done as many, and they're in 53 laps. So I think it'll be very interesting. But 4 minutes is a long time.
The car leading the 270s at the moment after between them 2 stops. Sorry, Dino and Glow. I don't actually have that on my entry list. But I don't know if I've got an old one, car 48.
I have no car 48 here either. So it could be a late entry, but apologies to Dino and Glow. If we have more information, we'd talk about it, but we can't. So it's good racing.
I think that looks like that's the Charlie Lower frame coming back into.
It's really hard to avoid that day glow, isn't it? The day glow is just so vibrant.
Oh no, it's not. It's a reason why I think it was car 21. Yeah, it is. Those guys are back out and they're not smoke. It looks like someone's just ripped that wing off and it's.
The wing stay is gone completely, so the wing stay was the problem. Well, to get it off that quick, I'm guessing the angle grinder came out.
Well, it's got them into the plate position here in third place, but with completed 3 stops, as the 22 car is 22 cars in the pits today. It's third stop as well now.
That 310 of Freddie Chillicks is under immense pressure from Craig Evans. And Craig is running road sport, so he's getting a massive toe off him, but he's putting him under pressure. And we see
Andy Palmer moves into second though. We've done 61 laps.
Wow.
He's a minute behind.
Wow. And Scott's only had 1 stop as well. He's on 61 laps as well, which is immense driving. But again, this is going to come down to pit stop strategy.
I'm not sure if the deficit in the pit stops on the 310s here is the right calculation. It looks like the 310s all ahead of them, but we're only going to find out, I suppose, in the last 10 minutes when they complete the final stops.
Do you mean the deficit of the 3 3/4 minutes from road sport to?
I'm not sure if it's looking right at the moment. When I look at that numbers, I think that's not going to be sufficient to provide a tight conclusion to the race.
But what's good in the regs, Caterham have left enough wiggle room to change these as they see fit. Especially in the trophies.
That sounds like a very Caterham rule.
Yeah. In Ireland, we call that a little bit Irish. It's a bit of a privilege to kind of go.
In England, we call that a little bit Irish.
Yeah, but that's racist. That's racist if you say it. It's not if I say it. Self-deprecation, Alex. That's what we're great at. I see track limits for car 77, which is Batman and Robin. So hopefully that's the only deficit the financial controller for Caterham is going to have.
Let's see.
He's going to get his hands smacked when he gets back into the pits. He'll be in trouble for there.
I see Craig Evans' overtake on it's not Craig Evans, sorry, for Evans' sake. Overtake on Valve Bounce here, and Bruno has got ahead of the S&M car, racing with S&M. Where are the Sofa Kings?
We said, well, the Sofa Kings are Will Harris, so you know Will's Dayglow green car coming through, but we've seen very little coverage of Full Chat Racing, which is a fantastic name for James Splatt and Charlie Chapman.
Yeah.
So we've seen very little coverage of these guys. Hopefully they're still out there. They seem to be.
And James has got a packing wrap on that car as well, designed by his charity that he races for and runs marathons for.
Well being.
It's been wrapped more time than a regifted present that has.
It has, and yeah, it's tough. And Charlie, I got an interesting fact from Charles Chapman in Zandvoort. He is in road sport and still has all of his original wings on his car, which I find utterly amazing.
I literally broke a light cluster taking it out of the trailer on the first time I did.
Well, if you were to listen to him chatting about how his wife Siobhan drives, she'd have 2 or 3 of those wings gone by just taking it out of the driveway.
Always a popular one, blaming your wife.
Really is. He's a brave man picking a fight with his Irish wife. You know, he's definitely going to get a bit of trouble off her on that one. We did have a conversation, funnily enough, on how your driving style differs on road when you become involved in something like Caterham and you do a lot of track driving, and you become a lot more chilled and laid back as a road driver, unless you're Dean Burton. And he said, funnily enough, I just sold my Lamborghini. I don't know what he had, but it only had like 2,000 or 3,000 miles on it because he doesn't use it anymore because he enjoys getting in the Caterham more.
It's definitely different now, driving on the road, isn't it? It's definitely changed it. There'll be a perception of speed, and also as well, I've noticed that as well. I know I've chatted to Paul Goldstein before about that he's got no interest in doing, or very little interest in going fast on the road.
But even the awareness, I find myself, I'm more aware of what's around me in the drivers around me because of racing, rather than if you were just a regular Joe Schmo. And I kind of said to my wife at home, I think all kids should get out to a track day once or twice a year as they get old enough, so that they can see what happens when the car gets out of control and how quickly things can go sideways. And I think that's a great learning curve for a lot of kids, rather to do it in a controlled environment rather than the uncontrolled environment where you can get collateral damage on the road. I see with car 93, for Evan's sake, has just hit track limits. So they're all, I guess
I'm surprised we're not seeing some more penalties for track limits.
Well, I wonder, will the penalties be applied post-race?
Oh, that's irritating.
So maybe if Simon or Bob or anyone else is listening in, they can give us some clarification on how we think the penalties might be applied. Just hit us a WhatsApp or whatever. We'll figure it out. But it's we're down to the last 19 minutes. I mean, holy smokes, that time has flown by.
The 21 car, Charlie Lower, and Harry, who were in with a pretty good shout a while ago, is back in the pits, I think, at the moment. So they were right up at the top. So you're going to see some changes. Under 20 minutes to go now.
Yeah, and like we're starting to see the pit stops talking up. So Dirty to me have jumped up to pit stop number 4, which is they're trying to hit their time allocation now of needing to stop for 15 minutes 45 seconds. And I guess a lot of them might miss the pit boards of when to come in. So there's probably that side of it too, of how switched on are you when your team are trying to call you in to get your pit stops, because I guess you can get absolutely absorbed in the racing and the fighting and forget all of this. It doesn't exist, right?
Yeah, well, you can see there that on the start-finish strange shot, the marshal's got the black and white flag out there. He's going to have a sore arm by the end of the day for the amount of times he's going to have that out.
Won't they just?
I mean, we did try and go to James Hall last year, but I mean, James is famous for being called to the marshals because he didn't see any of the black and white flags that he got, and the marshal asked him to come and see him because he'd never met anybody that got such a massive time penalty for track limits. And apart from winning the Academy, it's his claim to fame.
Well, currently the only trophy Steve and Bruno are going to be winning is, if there was a trophy, would be for the highest amount of track limits, because they're sitting at the top of the pile with 5. So undoubtedly they're going to get a penalty for that. But it doesn't hold a candle to the story you just told about James Hall.
Well, I don't know. I think it will. I think 5 is Is it not a 1 minute penalty on a normal race? Well, it's a drive-through, isn't it? Probably should learn the rules.
Not respecting track limits is a drive-through, but they've left it very open as, is it a drive-through per offence? Is it, if you got black flagged, is it a drive-through? I don't know.
Well, just seen our dear leader doing an overtake on the straight there, or our soon-to-be dear leader.
I wonder, does Alex like non-tin tops compared to his tin top experience?
I've got a feeling Alex might say some positive things about Caterham driving after this.
I came across, I was talking to somebody about this yesterday, and they pointed me to something called a TMC Coston. You will never have heard of this. This was a car built in Ireland, shocker, which wasn't a DeLorean. It was built in 1983 to 1987 down in the south of Ireland. And if you Google TMC Coston, it looks like a roadster Caterham. So it looks like BMW put on the hardtop on the Z3. That's what they've done to a Caterham. Now again, that's easy to say because all they do is square it off, put on wheel guards, and what they've done is they've stuck in a Ford Cosworth engine into it. So I bet you that was some fun back in the day.
I'm saying that dearly. I mean, we really should point out again that we are definitely joking about Alex Reed. He's a really nice guy that looks after the experience and drifting for Caterham, which is a brilliant day out. I think we've both done that. I've done it with the work colleagues as well.
It's an amazing day.
And he's very welcome to see somebody like Alex coming into charge of Caterham, and he's definitely smashed his way through. He just done another couple of positions on that last lap.
Absolutely. And to your point, Alex, it's great that somebody with experience and time in the field is coming into a role as important as that.
I've just seen as well in the back of the shot there the 47 car who towed back Heinrich Watson-Miller's back on the track.
Excellent.
You can see there he's got
48 laps in.
Yeah.
But they still haven't done it as a 3-lap penalty, so I wonder if that moves.
There's some people on YouTube comments. It's all in sunny Scotland. So that's where we don't believe you do. It's not Scotland.
It's never sunny.
No. Remember that we raced in Knockhill last year in August. I had to buy our jackets. That's right.
Particularly cold. I've never seen so many people going around in Knockhill hoodies.
Yeah, and there's a guy, Gutty Hero, just want to have a reg plate on saying "Help me" upside down. Yeah, that's Scott Help.
That's Scott Help.
Yeah, it was. The only person who came upside down.
Dean Burden has a problem saying Scott's name. He always says Scott Helmet, and I keep reminding him there's no T at the end. It's Helm. I think Dean is just eternally jealous that Scott is better than him.
There, talking to Scott, there he is as he goes down the hairpin there. I'm sure he won't be. Well, he's pulled a nice and Lexi there. Look, you can see on the back end of that straight, you've got Bruno in the SPL car there, trying to go around on his own. You've got 14 minutes to go, but there's still a few stops. Scott's only done one stop, so presumably Scott's worked this out that there's no penalty, or there'll be some scheme that Scott's running here, I'm assuming, why he's not done any more stops.
Well, the penalty for stops is, I think it's 10 laps. 10 lap penalty for each stop missed. So he has to do his 3 stops.
He's only got 13 minutes to go. What is a stop on a road sport? 4 minutes?
4 minutes.
I'm not sure how that maths is going to work out, are you?
No, because you then have to finish the line under your own power. And I guess if you don't cross the finish line, it comes down to a DNF. Is it? Well, you don't. You get your penalty applied.
James Spack coming on the street.
Here we are, James.
Nice to see James.
Or Charlie.
Is James or Charlie?
They have Ben Snape breathing on their neck, and
that's the Harris car, isn't it?
Car number 16 is Mitch Fasayama. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong.
But look at them coming into the last exit, turn 8 there. I think that's the Harris car. It's not Ben at the back there.
The last car is Will Harris's car. So judging by the helmet, there's a bit of a whiny glow to it. That is Will Harris's helmet.
One of the 25 Harrises in this race.
Yeah, I'm sure Steve and the rest of the Harris gang are all there supporting. Their man, I don't know her name, but she's a fantastic supporter and always has the flags out. So it's a great turnout of the Harrises.
Harrison being chased down here by is that Andrew Davison's car? I thought that was the Fascinale car. And then
Andrew Davison's is the original aluminium spec.
Okay.
We'll see it in a second. That is Mitch's car. You're right. That is Mitch's car chasing down Harrison.
Yeah.
Harrison's doing very well, but again, the pitting strategy. They all have to come in very shortly so that they can put in their final pit stop time.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a loss on that one. There must be some strategy to this that we're not privy to, because Scott's definitely got a bit of time here, and it shows him in the lead. When this all shakes out, really, we've got the 310 in the lead of the 96 car, which again, I don't have that on my entry sheet. And then the Bombhole Bandits currently, who are in the pits, running in second. I think they're the people that committed the correct pit stop allowances, unless everybody's planning to come in the last minute, or they're waiting for a last minute safety car or something like that.
Problem is, if you're all trying to come in at the same time, it's going to get chock-a-block in the pits. Ollie White there on our screenshot. Ollie has his dad Adrian, who is an adopted or a surrogate father for all of us in the paddock over the last while. So big shout out to Adrian. Ollie is flying along. He's 6th in class at the moment, and he has his mandatory 3 pit stops done. So assuming he's got the right amount of time done on each, he is out for the remainder of the race. And then you'll see these positions change very quickly, because as you've said, you've got Batman and Robin and Team Cyber that have to, and High Roll that have to do one more pit stop. So that will knock them back down in the Jocelyn order.
And Harrison's, well, I mean, Harrison's up there as well. Presumably when it takes a few laps off for the pit stop, it's going to really plummet them down.
Absolutely, and if you look at the numbers, Harrison technically, I don't know what he has pitted for already, but if we assume that they're divided out, he's got another 4.5 minutes to pit stop, which means there's the last half of the race. That's ultimately 4 laps. So if he's sitting at 70 laps and he's going to lose 4, that drops him back down right into the thick of it with Diamond Glow and anyone else in the 2 seconds.
Last 9 minutes then, let's see where the shuffle happens. I can only think that there's such a contingent of people who have not done this third stop that it's us that doesn't know something about it, and we've missed a vital part of the briefing here, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but again, this is the beauty of it being the first time. Everybody's just trying to figure out the lay of the land and how it all works. But either way, it's great to see all those bandits.
Oh, it's still classic Cajun, isn't it? There's still packs within half a second of each other. Like little pumps going through here. There's a pack of 3 310s going through, just coming into turn 2.
Led by Alex Reid in the Team Caterham experiences. You can see him behind Mitch Fasciale. So here's some great racing, all chasing Harrison. There's Charlie Lower's 310 in the middle of it all. Mitch Fasciale behind him. It's immense racing. You would expect to see more of a pull on the 270 to 310 than they are. There's Charlie's car making a move now.
I think the Sofa Kings here, I was expecting that those guys would run, but someone looks like they're going slowly at the back of that pack there. It's just the 310s and Alex Reid goes through there. Oh, this is the Mitch Fasciale.
Yeah.
That looks like that's going slow to me, running offline.
As he misses corner there.
No, not quite sure.
Ben Snape's car, which is S&M team. We've had one drop into the pits there now. That 310 of Boss
There's
Racing.
a problem there with Mitch. It looks like he's limping back through the final corners.
Freddie Chiswick's car seems to be down on power because he's been fighting with people he shouldn't really be fighting with. So I wonder, has he got a technical problem?
I think there's the last you see there, Bruno being towed around again by the 270 slightly ahead. Not the hopeful completed another pit stop there. They're in the pits for the fourth. Scott's in the pits at the moment, team Cyber. So this is presumably Scott's hoping to come out and then pit very quickly again after that one. To get him up to the required 3 pit stops.
He'll have to, and I don't know if there's a rule where they can pit on their outlap. I'm not sure, but either way, he's got to make up his next pit stop very quickly. And there's Bruno breathing down the neck of car number 27, which is Ryan Pollitt and Rich Mitchell's Val Bounce car.
I think we're a bit quiet here, Brian. We're trying to work out who, certainly I am, who's going to come out well in this pit stop sequence. There's 4 cars in the pits, and the Batman Robin team, I think, is the Caterham guys are well placed here. The 3 pit stops, they're 1 lap behind Harrison, but Harrison's only done 2 pit stops, so I think it's going to be penalised for that with 6 minutes to go unless he comes in now. There's only 2 laps ahead. I mean, it's going to lose that in an 80-second lap. It's 3 lap equivalency.
Yeah, absolutely. And the big thing is, where are the penalties applied? You know, if the penalties are applied post-race, you know, we really don't know what we're looking at. So it'll be interesting. We're just going to have to wait and see how it all pans out.
I'm hoping, though, that there aren't too much of a shuffling round coming through at the end of the race. It's just been... There are a few track limit penalties, but there's nothing massive in there.
But how clean is this racing has been so clean? You know,
I haven't seen any. Car number 63 is the only one that I've got, which Andy Palmer's got 2 track limits.
But it's been fairly clean. You know, there's only a few wing stays gone. There's been no crashes, thank God. There's been no major offs, no shunts. So all in all, after 2 hours of degrading tyres, it's been very clean racing. We just see the back of Craig Evans' car there. Whether it's Craig or Charlie racing, we don't know. Scott has come back out and hasn't dropped much. I'm going to guess he's going to have to go back in because he's still sitting second overall. So maybe his strategy was to make up as much as he can. You see Harrison Cavers moving in for his
Harrison Cavers nips into there.
So this will be a tell to see what his position drop is, because he has to wait now until his time allocation is up to get back out, because it's the last 5 minute racing.
So it's a minimum allocation for Harrison in a 270.
13 minutes.
13 minutes in total.
Yeah.
Across 3 stops, so you don't quite know. Mitch, that's it. They've got that car going again. It's come.
That's high roll. So he's come in for his 3rd and final pit stop as well.
Is there a minimum? It's not a minimum pit stop time for this. There's for each stop.
No, you have to have 3 stops, and you have to have an accumulation of 12 minutes for road sport, 13 minutes for 270, or 15 minutes 45 seconds for 310. So there is a minimum time required. They just need to be doing it. Now, Bruno and Steve, SPL Motorsport, have a joint leader in track limits, which is car number 40, which is the Lowe and Boyle Apex Hunters. So they have, Robert Lowe and Craig Boyle have managed to catch them up on track limits, both sitting at 5. So it'll be interesting to see if there's a little side trophy that's going to come out of this for
track limits trophy.
If not, we'll get one made up for the Caterham Dinner Awards of the year.
And Scott, so now we've got 6 cars in the pits as they come through here. As everyone tries to squeeze in the last little bits, and you can see a wing hanging off the car at 48. Again, I'm unsure about this because it doesn't show 48 on my entry list, but
no, we still don't have any details on car 48, so they will be forever lost in time. But I'm sure if we're ever invited back into
It's the
once
270.
again, we
It's
will
a
get
270. That's the only thing I know about them playing still on screen.
we get a full media
yeah.
pack off Caterham for this.
Yeah, on Tuesday next week.
It'll be very interesting to see now the gap that the guys have pulled. Scott, Harrison, how are they going
to works out?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is where the strategy is really going to count. 2 minutes left. You know, it's hard to see it on the race itself, but on the TSL timesheet is where the most excitement is, because that's the only place you can see the position movement. So you know,
I never thought I'd be watching the equivalent of a CFAX page so closely here to get such technical detail.
There's a different demographic that will remember the CFAX and Teletext pages.
I'm absolutely confident that Caterham Racing and CFAX is a demographic that is aligned.
Absolutely, 100%. We see Team Caterham Experiences after coming up in the ranks now, because their strategy is starting to come into effect, as is the Bombhole Bandits, and they're now sitting in second and third in category. And I suspect when Scott has to get his times up to speed, he will do the same. He's back out.
The interesting thing is I want to see where Harrison comes out here with 90 seconds to go. He's on the out here. He's going to shuffle through the order and see if that strategies works, or if it's going to be the 22 car here of James Emerson or Drake in the 310. Pushed it up here. And
this is going to be the most exciting minute left, Alex.
It is. And I think it's going to be quite difficult to follow as you're looking at the map tracker here where certain people are.
No.
They managed 74 laps, which what was the calculation that we had at the start?
78.
So it's the max that we were expecting from a 310. So that's what they take in terms of pit stops. And the 22 car there we see on screen, it's currently running. This is the leader pack, isn't it? The 2 310s.
I suspect on review 52. Of all of this, as you said, the pit stop allocation might be reviewed heavily to see. Oh, we've got SPL moving in. Oh no, they're gone.
Oh no.
We might see the pit stop allocation reviewed, because technically we shouldn't have the gaps that we have in the laps. So
here you go. The Caver strategy has just crossed the line. This is the last lap now. And Harrison, Porsche experience seems to have worked for him.
He's 23-second gap on. His next in group is sitting at 11 at the moment, which is
but it's overall here. He's on for the sort of overall win.
Absolutely.
It's got 17 seconds to be caught by the 310, which is not going to do it in a single lap. See a wing in the middle of the empty straight there. And then Scott Helm positioned himself in third at the moment for this.
Here we see the leader Harrison going in under the bridge on his last run on the home straight.
This presumably then for the checkered flag with Alex Reid directly on.
Yeah, as they both enter the bomb hole here now, and then they're going to Coram. And Harrison's getting a great tow there by Ben Snape. I see Bruno and Steve behind him. That is a great run for Harrison. I mean, he's had a great race from the get-go. He's been blitzing up the top, mixing with 310s.
The first stint behind the 310s definitely worked well for him.
Absolutely.
I think this is a remarkable effort after 2 hours of driving. Oh no, it looks like there it is, the checkered flag.
There is a checker.
Congratulations to Harrison. That's Harrison. What interesting? The top three different cars. So maybe, what do I know about telling people about what the Caterham system works just perfectly? You've got Road Sport 310 and 270.
Absolutely, and great work by Scott Helm getting up into third in the Road Sport. And as you said, you've got a 270, 310, and a Road Sport on the podium. That just shows you how it all works out.
Yeah, all the way back through the grid there. It's still pretty tight as well. I mean, like after 2 hours of racing to be within 15 seconds of each other, including the pit stops, is still pretty tight.
It is, and it's a great effort. When you look at where everybody's finished up in classes, team of Caterham Experiences, Alex Reid came in second in class, 5th overall. The Bombhole Bandits came in third in class. And then in the 310, we've got Gone, who has won the race. Not the Hopeful, second in class, and then third in class is Torque Dirty to Me, which is Charlie Lower, who may have had his position robbed by having to come into the pits and get his wing stay cut.
There is obviously a bit of stuff with any penalties and track limits are if you keep those around here.
Yeah.
I think we've got a couple of laps behind people, but most people, I think it looks like the fourth pit stop didn't work out for the Charlie Lower team.
And a great spread. I mean, even the guys who had to come into the pits and get repair work done or come off the track and managed to get back out, they've fallen 30 laps behind, but they still got to get a good chunk of 2 hours of racing in, and that's what they signed up for. So that's been amazing to see. As they all pull into Parc Fermé now, I guess we'll see what the outcome is after it all. We don't know. We're just going to have to wait and see. It'll be...
Here we go.
Well, here's the results. There we go. Great job by Harrison, Cavers and Co. Bean himself. 76 laps. That's a really good effort, and he's done it from the outset. It's been phenomenal racing by Harrison.
Harrison as well, the charity is nominated is the WWF, which I'm pretty sure know Harrison with the Worldwide Wrestling Federation.
Yeah, absolutely. World Wrestling Federation. Yeah.
It's a noble charity for £1,000.
It is, absolutely. Gone. Their named charity was Havens Hospice. Don't know much details about them, but a shout out to Havens Hospice. Team Cyber have their nominated charity as Dogs Trust. So the animals are winning in the top three.
For sure.
Excellent. Well, all well-nominated charities and all hard fought in those races.
After this, there was some 2CV racing, which you'll be delighted to know that we know even less about than Caterham racing, so we won't be going near that. And I'm hoping someone else will come on and talk you through that and see how that goes.
It's been a quick but long 2.5 hours of our first time ever commentating. So thank you to all that have joined in and listened to us and put up with us. And we hope we didn't bore you with too many out of spec conversations or gaps. We did our best and we had a bit of fun. I had great fun with this with you, Alex.
There's a lady who's popped on the commentary here, Janie Mack, who's very nice. We know her about. She's very long suffering.
Thanks, Janie Mack.
And it's nice to see her.
A long suffering wife. She's gone from being a golf widow to a racing widow, and back to a golf widow and a racing widow. So I mean, she's had a tough time against her. But no, it's been a great race with the Academy and great race with the GP, which is the first one. And I have to say, it's been a very successful one. I think Caterham can certainly come away from it with a lot of positive things in this. So it's been fantastic.
Yeah, cheers, Brian. I've had a good afternoon.
And we got to wait for our producer to tell us.